Let's see if this is working or not. Testing. Boop. Okay. That's working. And that's working. 2 for the price of 1. Bring this up. Should be there. Very interactive story. I'll just sit here in silence. Let's see. Probably share this. Let's just try out multi-streaming, shall we? There. Okay. God, I hope I can see comments for this thing. It's connecting. How long is this thing supposed to? Okay, one's connected. Cool. Wonder if it's gonna work on this one too. Buried is an interactive story. The plot will change based on the choices you make. The story is broken into 5 chapters. Play straight through or at your own pace. Something, no waiting and no pauses. I've tried to read it on my smaller screen. That's not working very well for me. There appears to be an issue with this one. Can't hear very well. Okay. It looks like I'm gonna have to pop out this. Hang on, I'm listening to myself now. Gosh, and pause. Okay, for some reason this multi-chat thing's not working for me, so I'll just have to. Hello, Annika. I'll have to take this thing out. So at least that's working. That's could be connecting forever. Fine. And I'm very low. I can fix that. There. I should be a lot higher now. Bring that one up. And this one up. There we go. And open the game. Right, everything should be here. Now I can hear you better. Hopefully not. Well, now that we've got actual sound effects, maybe that should hopefully not interfere with it. I open my eyes and the first thing I want to do is scream. I flatten my back and everything seems to hurt. The trees overhead look familiar. It's a clear night, the sky almost beautiful. Except for the fact that this means I've been out cold for at least 6 hours. Very accurate. There's something wrong. I don't remember what, but something happened and my head. My God, I have a head! No, my head hurts and a ringing in my ears. Was there an accident? An explosion, I think. I remember Dennis screaming, but after that I can't remember. As I sit up and notice that my hard hat has been thrown off, I look around the area, but it's not here. It feels strange to go anywhere without my hard hat, but I've got to find the other members of the crew. They could be in danger. So how is it sounding so far? My multi-chat program isn't connecting to YouTube. Well done. A delay shouldn't be too bad. How does it actually look? I guess if I click out, it'll just stop. Where should I position me? But I'll just read out the options. I reckon that's the better of the 2 options. Good. Alright, back into it. Search for a hard hat, or forget the hat. Search for the crew. What do you reckon? What do you reckon I should go for? Search for a hat, or forget the hat. Search for the crew. Why would you look for your hard hat? The hat. The hat? The hat. Okay, go for the hat. I get up with my shaky legs and look around for a moment. A few nearby trees look to have been splintered and broken at the base recently. They certainly weren't like this earlier. Searching for the hard hat feels normal. It makes me feel like maybe there isn't something wrong here. I see it behind a fallen log, about 10 feet away from me. How is it thrown so far is beyond me. Driven by nothing more than habit, I walk over to it, pick it up, and place it on my head. Next, I walk over to the center of the logging site, and don't like what I see. What do you see? Oh dear. That's gonna be expensive to fix. The logging site looks like a bomb was detonated right in the center. I don't know where to start. The one load we had managed to stack on a truck for the day is overturned. The trailer bent, and the logs hanging off the back. Where the hell is everyone? My head is killing me, and there's ringing in my ears. I can't hear anything. Not birds, not my footsteps. Nothing. It makes me wonder if I hit my head. It makes me wonder if I hit my head after my hard hat flew off. Well, fair enough. I ran through a quick mental checklist to make sure my brain is still working. My name is Roger Hastings. I'm 41 years old. The year is 2017. I own a small logging company. I've been logging in this strip of Kentucky woodland for almost a month now. Okay, so my brain works. That's a relief, but it also makes me fearful, because something is certainly not right here. I look around the logging site, my mind trying to figure out what has happened. Just about every piece of equipment has been overturned or tilted. Should I look at the debris or look at the truck? Debris? Debris? Debris. Debris. I think debris sounds like the better option. Why do I want to look at the truck? Ooh, unless there's something to trap under the truck. That's also a possibility. Other debris. I don't know. I don't remember. I have played this game. It's a while ago since I played this game, though. Don't know what debris is. So truck, 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 truck. The truck. The hitch is completely broken, like it was blown off in an explosion or a really bad accident. Had there been an explosion, all of the fuel in the site would have started a fire. There's no charring, no burning, nothing. I walked through the area where Dennis had been working. From the looks of it, he'd been moving slowly. He'd only taken down 4 trees today. His metal lunchbox is open, an indicator that he'd been taking an early break. But he's not here. No one is here. Where the hell is everyone? I could try to make a call on my cell phone. His battery is already running low. Not that it matters. The reception is crap out here. Yell out or call someone on cell. Well, I literally just said the reception is rubbish out here, so calling someone isn't really helpful. Probably best to yell out just to make sure if there's anyone actually nearby. Or just simply yelling out could make somebody wake up if they're falling unconscious. That's also a possibility. I hope no one decided to watch this on Twitch, because this chat box is not loading anything. Like literally nothing, isn't it? There's nothing there. Multi-chat my butt. Yell. When I'm calling you. This thing is not working for me. Why is it not working? Oh, because YouTube's not going through. Why? YouTube stream now is online. But it clearly states that's not the case. Clearly states that's not the case. What? Why did I just lose it? Chat. Hang on. I can restore this. I'm sure I can. Hold the phone. It doesn't work with YouTube? Appears to be the case. Huh, fine. Whatever. Let's get rid of this one. Put this one in. Oh God. Yeah. Nope, that's not what I meant at all. No, that's still not what I meant. No. This thing needs to behave itself. There. Hang on. We're gonna go for the incredibly awful way. Can I pop this thing out? There it is. 1. Minimize. A 2. There. You can go there as well. There. Yeah. Hey guys! Where is everyone? Tony? Tony? Dennis? Frank? Joe? Their names fall flat among the wreckage. I get nothing back other than scaring away a few birds overhead. Might as well start walking and try to find some answers. The highway is almost a mile back, through the woods, down the gravel road we used to reach the site. Maybe the crew ran that way for help. But why would they have left me? Were they scared? Out of sorts? Maybe we can catch up to them. When my truck turned over on its side, it looks like I'll be walking. My God, I can't even remember what I was doing before waking up on my back. Wait, what's that underneath the bulldozer? Oh my God, it's a leg. It has to be either Tony or Dennis. That leg. The dozer looks unstable, like it might roll some more. It might not be safe to get close, but at the same time, I can't just leave him there. Should I chance it? Or should I not? This is the question, people. This is the real questions here. The next decision I will choose. This one I will let you choose. Stay back. Or staying back. There's no use putting myself at risk. That thing could tumble again. Pretty clear that he didn't survive. Damn. He had 2 kids too. Both sons. In my shock, I stumbled back, suddenly tripping over a stray log behind me. The hard hat I'm wearing collides with it as I fall, doing its job. What's more startling is realization that Tony's dead. I can't stay here. I have to find Dennis, Frank, and Joe. I have to find out what happened here. I love blogs. Ooh. How are you today anyway, Annika? As I walk through the stacks of logs from last week or so of work, everything feels frozen. This high-pitched sound in my ears. It's terrible. It keeps happening every few seconds and sounds like it's coming from far away. I can't help but wonder, is it my ears or is it something else? The silence out here is creepy, and there's a smell, like the atmosphere after a bad summer storm. I might as well admit it. I'm a little scared. Everyone is missing and it's dead quiet out here. There doesn't even seem to be a breeze to rustle the leaves and branches. My right knee hurts like hell. My head was hurting so bad before that I never even noticed the pain in my knee. I must have heard it during the what? Accident? Or, wait, is that Dennis? I see him sitting on the ground, motionless, about 30 feet away. This is why you don't go outside, kids. Uh, 30 feet. Yell out or walk. I'm gonna be adventurous and walk up. He's just sitting there, not moving. I walk up slowly next to him. Dennis? Hey, man. Can you hear me? I tap him on the shoulders. I'm very close. He looks at me from the ground, clearly coming out of a daze. Yeah, Roger. I hear you, he says. Dennis is built like a wrestler and has a rough personality to match. But in this moment, he looks disorientated and even a little anxious. So I'm glad to see him. The fear on his usually confident face is alarming. What the hell happened? What's going on? He asks. I don't know. The crew is missing. Or an explosion, I think. What do you reckon? Explosion? Something else? Ooh! I forgot to do something. I'm a silly Billy. Can I just immediately send this over? I think I can. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. This is the perfect stream. Where is it? There it is. I forgot to make an announcement in my own server. Oh, I am perfect. Absolutely fantastic. This is what I do best. I forget to do things. Explosion. An explosion, Dennis says. Yeah, I believe that. Why do you say that? Did you see something? Doesn't respond. Still sitting on the ground, he looks around the woods, as if he's just now understanding the severity of the situation. The equipment was overturned. The dozers too, I say, shifting my hard hat and wiping my forehead. You okay? Nah, just shaken up. Me too. This might be the most intimate conversation Dennis and I have ever had. While he and I have always been on good terms, we've never been particularly close. I've always respected him, though. Sure, he's come to work a few times looking like he'd been in a bar fight the night before. But I've always seen him do an enthusiastic impression of a dinosaur as he played with Tony's kids while they waited for their dad to finish up his shift. It's then that it hits me. Dennis and Tony were good friends. I'm sure I want to rattle him with news. Not sure I want to rattle him with news of Tony's death right now. Not before we know what's going on. But he has a right to know. So should we tell him Tony is dead? Or don't mention Tony at all? I feel like not mentioning it, you'd be like, why would you be keeping that from me? No, don't mention him. I shall follow the wise and... Ooh, here we go. You didn't tell Tony about... Oh, okay. It's good to find someone else, I say. I don't think I need to bring up Tony quite yet. The two of them were close, almost like brothers. He'd take it hard. Yeah, he says. Hey, he adds nervously, looking at the ground. Did you see that light? No. What did you see? I don't even know, Roger, he says. It was like this flare of white light. It came right out of the ground. Like an explosion. So there was an explosion. Maybe it was some equipment, or... No, this was no equipment, Dennis interrupts. Agitated. This huge ball of light came right out of the damn ground. What did it look like? Or where did it go? Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Well, you literally just explained what it looked like. So, where? Yeah, because he just literally told us what it looked like. It just shot up into the sky until it was out of sight. When? I'm not sure, he answers. But I'd finished about 10 trees for the day and was about to top one. That's when it happened. You were almost done with 10 trees? I ask. Yeah, he says, looking at the ground. You know, I wouldn't want to take a lunch break until I was done. And that's when that light blew up. Why? You don't believe me? I mean, it could easily have just been a regular explosion. And it just looked like a ball of light. So I would say I'd believe you. And that is exactly what you saw. Then again, you did see it. You did say that it literally went up into the sky and out of sight. So I feel like if I say it, I think you're exaggerating. It's best to go along with it, so you don't trigger the individual. I believe you. He saw what he saw. I think to myself, he has no reason to lie about this. My God, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, he says. But if I'm being honest, it scared me pretty bad. And if it's all the same to you, I'd like to get the hell out of here. We all stand up and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. His right side is coated in blood, the red seeping through his blue work shirt. There are splatters of it here and there, but also a very large red splotch that makes me worry. Are you in a lot of pain? Or how'd you get that injury? What do you reckon? I'm more leaning towards this one. No, well, he's obviously in a lot of pain, duh. So, how'd you get that injury? Well, neither of those, to be honest. I'd be like, is there anything I could do, or is there a way to put pressure on it? And I want the third option. I want a third option. Yeah, how? Okay. I'm not sure, Dennis replies. I must have gotten thrown or hurt somehow from that light. It's then that I notice. What's going on in my mouth? It's then that I notice that the strange ringing noise is still filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Dennis looks scared when I ask him this question, and he just nods. I thought it was just me, he says. He looks out of sorts and uncertain. I've never seen him like this before. It's obvious that he's looking for some reassurance. Even though I'm his boss, there's something very unnerving about this. Oh, I'm his boss. Well, I'll be okay. It's probably nothing. Or, it's freaking me out, man. It's freaking me out. Hello, Chris. We'll be okay. It's probably nothing. Or it's freaking me out. As I am authority, I should try to be calm, because those in charge that are calm, those that follow them are calm too. I'm more leaning towards we'll be okay, it's probably nothing. I'm gonna click it. I clicked it. Let's be realistic, I tell myself. I might as well try to be pathetic. Out here in the middle of these woods, the ringing could be anything. Maybe a car alarm through the woods or something. Still, even my passive comment seems to reassure Dennis. It looks a bit calmer, more relaxed. We both start moving forward and don't say another word. Did you try to call Frank? Dennis asks. I know he had his cell on him today. Not yet. Luckily, I still have some battery left. I pull up my phone and call Frank. Happy I didn't make that call to Dennis earlier. It rings, but he doesn't pick up. But then I hear his phone go off behind the stack of logs. Dennis and I give each other a look. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up. and we walk behind the logs to find Frank's phone on the ground, abandoned. We look around for Frank, but find nothing. Not a single trace. It's then that I notice something really odd. A 10-foot wide hole in the ground, right near where the phone was. I keep yawning, sorry. But there's no stray piles of removed dirt or rocks. It's clean, smoothly dug, cut in the earth, wide but only a few feet deep. It looks unnatural, like the ground was just deleted. No shovels or diggers used. Delete. Dennis walks over to it. This looks like the same kind of hole where I saw that light come from the ground. He muses to himself. I say nothing. My mind is spinning, but I don't know what to think. We need to get out of here, Dennis mutters. At that moment, that ringing noise carries through the forest again, sending a shiver down my spine. Dennis is right. There's something strange going on, and we might not be safe here. That ringing sound could be a clue to where the rest of the crew went. Two options. No, let's check out that sound, or agreed, let's get away from here. Now, in any kind of horror situation, people always tell them, don't go towards the sound. Go the opposite way. Get away from noise. No noise, there's nobody or nothing else around you. You're safer that way. Precisely. Spot on. You decided to avoid the sound. With that, we turn and start walking to the west, in the direction that I'm pretty certain leads to the road. Continue. Long periods of talking makes me yawn. This is the one thing in life that I've discovered. I do apologize for every time I yawn. I can't help it. It's sort of embarrassing, really. I have been a logger for nearly 15 years, but I'm finding it easy to get lost in these woods. The trees are so thick in places that the moonlight doesn't even reach the ground. It's easy to get turned around. My only hope is that I can find the overgrown dirt road that will lead us back to the highway. You sure we're headed the right way? Dennis asks. Pretty sure, I say. I turn to him and see that he's clearly in pain. It's at this moment that we come upon another one of those smooth holes. This one is even stranger because a nearby tree also has a chunk cut out of it. The arc goes smoothly through the ground and up through the trunk, like a cartoon wrecking ball blasted through both of them. Plastered, man. What the hell are these things? Disper! Dennis whispers to himself. He takes a step down into the hole, his boots creating imperfections in the shape. How dare he? Like footprints on a sand dune. Text adventures. That's so wow. So 1990. You're older than me. Either we step down into it or walk around the perimeter. Well, I don't think we want to step down into it. I think we should probably walk around the perimeter. Don't step into it. Yeah, we'll walk around. We'll avoid it. I walk along the edge, each step sending pebbles down into the hole and ruining its perfect shape. I'm amazed at how smooth it is. Even rocks that are under the earth have been sheared to fit the shape. Oh, hang on, no. The sphere of the shape. I can't do words apparently. But as I am noticing this, the fact that I cannot read, I notice Dennis' feet start to sag. Dennis, get out! I start, but I don't finish. Before he can react, the ground is giving way and he's falling. I try to step back, but the fissure that opens up disintegrates the ground beneath my feet as well. I cry out in surprise and can barely hear Dennis letting out a curse as we go down into the earth. Ooh. Okay. I've fallen and I can't get up. The fall isn't a long one, but when I hit something a few seconds later, it hurts like hell. Ooh. The wind goes rushing out at me when I hit, and a sharp pain flies through me. What the hell? I say once my breath is back. Beside me, Dennis is slowly rolling over to get to his feet. I look up and see the hole in the ground where we fell through. It looks to be about 10 feet over our heads. It's completely dark, but there's a small flicker of light further into the cave ahead of us, and a solid wall of rock behind us. Looks like the only ways out are further down the cave or up through the way we fell in. Dennis might be able to boost me up there, but with his injury, I'm not sure how stable he is. He might drop me. Try to climb out, or head into the cave. I will have nightmares, never going into a forest again. Oh, sorry, I'm cracking pieces of myself. I fell into the cave. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a way out of the cave. Try out, I guess. We'll try. You think you could hoist me up there? I asked Dennis. Sure. He still looks out of sorts, but he weighs at least 30 pounds more than me. I'd have a hard time trying to lift him. We can try, he says. He drops to one knee and cups his hands together, making a small platform. I step into it and he lifts me as well as he can. When I'm off the ground, his other hand comes up and catches me by the waist, and then both his hands are on my waist. He hefts me up, and I am able to just barely grab onto the edge of the hole. I feel the grass on my fingers and the dirt in my fingernails. You're a very sensitive person. But the moment I'm about to pull myself up, the ground beneath my hands gives way and I go falling. I strike Dennis on the way down, and we both go to the ground in a heap. I feel my ankle twist in the fall, and it instantly starts pulsing in pain as I get to my feet. It was a dumb idea anyway, Dennis says, slightly annoyed. Looks like we're going that way, I say as I nurse my ankle and point towards the light. As we turn to head into the cave, I take a closer look at the light further ahead, and realize it's artificial. We both start heading towards it instinctively. As we step in the light, panic gently gnaws at me because what I'm seeing makes absolutely no sense. It's no longer a cave or a hole, it's a long, sparsely lit corridor. Well, frick. Frick me nursey ankle. Wow, that's a creepy corridor. It's a massive corridor? I would say long, very long, not massive. In fact, it seems to go on forever. I see an end. This corridor is mostly dark, with emergency lights every 10 feet or so. I turn to my left and see that there's a door which appears to lead upwards to the outside. But it's locked tight. Locked tight? I push as hard as I can, but no luck. Dennis, help me with this, I say. He comes over and we both try to kick the door open, but it doesn't budge. For some reason, someone doesn't want people getting out of here. Looks like we're heading down the hallway. Tiptoe quietly, or walk quickly. I'll just tiptoe. I'm gonna tiptoe down the corridor. That's what I do. Don't mind me, I'll just tiptoe. And don't mind me doing this either. I have a very strange headache coming on. My choice. Well, I don't think we can really walk quickly. This is the fact that his ankle's broken, so we'll try tiptoeing. I feel like a ghost. I'm also very buzzed following medication. Pardon? Like I truly have no business being here. And the taste! Dennis leans on me for support. We move slowly, our feet not making a sound. I feel like I'm getting closer away from the microphone. If anyone is in here, I want to make sure they don't hear us. We tiptoe forward as softly as we can. As I carry Dennis to the far end of this otherwise featureless place, I see a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have to set Dennis down on the floor. His weight is killing me. Plus my ankle got really banged up when we tried to climb out of the hole. He needs a break. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man. I'll be okay. I just need a minute to rest. But looking at him, I'm not so sure. I can still hear the ringing noise every so often coming from somewhere in here. I look at the head of the concrete stairs, pointing towards them so that Dennis sees them. Can you make it down those stairs? He stands up slowly and is visibly making an effort not to fall back down. Yeah, he says. It sounds a little irritated. He starts for the stairs without me. I have no choice but to follow. We approach the stairs, and by just looking at them, I get the sense that we're crossing some sort of line here. There may very well be no going back. I don't think these medication pills are supposed to taste like that. That's awful. It's like I stuck acid in my mouth. As I head down the stairs, I notice that they look aged. That damn ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down into the cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps down before he's leaning on the wall. He's breathing like he's just finished a marathon. Pause to give him a break, or keep up the pace. If Chris is still here, let him decide. Pause to give him a break, or keep up the pace. Have a Kit Kat. Pause to give him a break. Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulder to keep him steady. Keep? Yeah, works too. Dennis lets out a sigh. Thanks. I don't feel too great, boss. As we both squat down on a stair, my mind seems to lock in on the unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married, and I met his wife a few times. A nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realize I might never again get to hear him belting out a classic rock tunes during lunch break. Joe, well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old and is considering community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he's been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so. Maybe I can still find them and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep, baritone voice after a few too many drinks. After a few moments, Dennis says, "All right, let's keep going." We both stand up, leaning on each other. I have to make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help but feeling like a child as a very powerful fear seizes me. I'm expecting a monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. We're closer to that ringing noise now. A door sits securely in the wall, and looks just as out of place down here as I feel. A silver of light sweeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel, with lots of labels and lights. Small embossed print above the panel says, Level 01 entrance gate, transport sector, and there's a button with no label. Should we inspect the panel? Or push the button? Well, I feel like we're going to be taking this in turns now. Inspect the panel, or push the button. Oh! I think the next one's me, isn't it? Yeah. The panel looks like a diagnostic or alert system of some kind. Each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged. Experiment in progress. Shutdown engaged. Those all appear to be off, but one of the phrases has a slowly blinking red light next to it. The only power light on this whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? I slowly push the door open when Dennis suddenly steps in front of me, taking the lead. Let's go, he says. I want to find out what the hell this place is. As Dennis walks through, that ringing or beeping or whatever it is gets a little louder. The door closes behind us with a click. I can't help but notice the wobble in Dennis' step as he lets out a grunt. You sure you're healthy enough to keep going? I ask. It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now. He seems scared. Something I've never seen before. Angry, yes. Upset, yes. But Dennis is never scared. What did you see? Or what's so dangerous? What did you see? Well, you kind of already told us what you saw. What's so dangerous? I don't know, he says. I don't think there's anything there to hurt us. But that doesn't mean it's safe. There's just something wrong. It started with that flash of light. It's like it breathed life into the woods. And whatever life is breathed, I don't think it was anything good. I didn't say anything because it sounds crazy. I've been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It had become just background noise. We take a few more steps and I can now see where we are. It makes no sense. Yet another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted colors of metal are easy to identify. But it just doesn't belong here. Ooh, end of chapter 1 already. How about that? Ding! Hang on, can I get this like right up to my mouth? So I can do there. Right up to my mouth. Respected dead, you and 36 players left Tony's body where you found it. Secrets, you and 24 hid Tony's death from Dennis. Me and 55 told Dennis you believed his story. Curiosity. Only 25 ran away from the ringing noise. Well, we know 55% of people probably won't survive in an apocalyptic world. We're standing on the thin platform of what looks like a fancy subway. The rails look well used, but not old. There are some small overhead lights that are very dim, as if they are running on emergency power. The dim overhead lights are a blessing, but the size of the place makes me feel vulnerable. Staring ahead, a tunnel seems to be endless. It's almost dizzying. But there's a small light further ahead, and then a space that breaks the monotony of the tunnel's curved surface. Another platform, maybe. Why are we in a subway tunnel? Or Dennis, what do you think this is? Slip. Slip, 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 slippy. Are you still playing Fortnite? Are you just like pausing back and forth, being like, that one, this one, click that, touch that, sniff this, slap that. You totally went back to Fortnite. Okay, shall I pick? I forgot I'm picking. Why are we in a tough subway tunnel, or what do you think this is? Well, it's a subway tunnel. Why are we in a subway tunnel? Dennis doesn't answer. The reality of what we are seeing is sinking in. Whatever this place is, it is buried way underground. That seems impossible to me. Making anything that's on the other side of this tunnel seems dangerous as far as I'm concerned. But of course we are going to go on. Human curiosity is going to see to that. Also, the ringing noise is louder down here. It's much more solid now, and there's some other sound, something like the faint hum of machinery. What's your take on this, boss? You think we're safe here? Dennis asks. Not at all. This is what I think to myself, but I don't want to let Dennis see that I'm rattled. While he seems to be limping along much better than when we first stumbled into this place, he keeps in rough shape. He's still in rough shape, sorry. I'm leading him here, and I should probably make him feel confident in that. I'm not sure, this is creepy. Yeah, we'll be fine. Well, it's Subway, it's human built. Mind you, we could be technically trespassing. I can't remember where this is set in. But trespassing in most places in the world is met with aggression. Yeah, we'll be fine. We're too far in to go back, I say. Besides, If you get caught for trespassing, I'm pretty sure we'd slide by. We're good. You're in pain, and we got to find the rest of our crew. They could still be here somewhere. Dennis nods and looks reassured. A bit weak and miserable. From the looks of it, we can go either left or right. The left is slightly lit, the right, not so much. This makes me uneasy because I get the sense that one wrong turn in a place like this would have us wandering for hours. Suddenly, I jerk my head to the right as I hear the unmistakable sound of someone walking. Did you hear something? I asked Dennis, my eyes straining to see anything in the darkness. Not sure. Maybe. It kind of sounded like footsteps. I wait a moment. The sound doesn't come again. So those are our options. To the left are flickering lights, indicating that we'll at least be able to see. There is also a hum of machinery, a sign of life. To the right is just darkness. But we also heard footsteps in that direction. Should we go left? Or should we go right? Hum of machinery. Or the right where there are footsteps. Do we want to increase our numbers, or do we take the chance of this humming machinery? And my phone's dying, okay. You want to go towards the hum. A sign of life. Okay. Go to the light. Seems smart to stay in the light. Left it is. Ah, to the left. To the left, to the left. What's gonna happen? As we head left, the lights ahead are like a beacon in the dark, luring us forward. Someone left the lights on for us. Sure. Trying to be funny, but creeping me out instead. I wonder if that's a good or a bad thing, I say. As we near the lights, I hear the hum of machinery grow louder. But it doesn't sound like any machine I've heard before. As the light increases, I use it to take an inventory of Dennis and his condition. While the bleeding seems to have stopped, the amount that's soaked into his pants and shirt is beyond alarming. How much further can you walk? I ask him. Can you keep going? Yes, Dennis says. Let's walk into the deep tunnel that has no business being here. Yep. Now fully stepping into the light, I notice that the sound of machinery is coming from an area on the left side that is protected by a guardrail. Wisps of bright blue light dance on the walls as they leak out from whatever is below. I also notice a posted sign that says, Danger, severe radiation poisoning threat. Step closer, look, or step back and move on. Why would we step forward? Severe radiation poisoning threat. Pretty sure we want to stay back and move on. You know, it clearly states that it's radiation poisoning. Why would we want to go near it? Yeah, I'm just gonna click that by default. That'd be ridiculous. Dennis, I don't think we should get near whatever is down there, because it clearly states radiation poisoning threat. Dennis studies the bright blue light a bit longer and then nods. He's hurrying enough as it is. I don't think we need to add radiation poisoning to his list of ailments. Mutation like Spider-Man. Or mine, for that matter. We step away and take off down the tunnel again. As I start walking, I notice another structure coming into view up ahead. Another structure. An exit. An exit. Stairs. As we head further into the tunnel, we reach another platform. There's light coming from the platform, but like the overhead lights, they're dim, red emergency lights. I start to wonder if the explosion at the logging site caused a power outage in this place, or whatever this place is. The ringing noise that I originally thought was in my head is getting louder. I'm starting to think it's some sort of alarm. When we come to the large open area ahead in the tunnel, It further resembles a subway station. As much as I try to ignore the reality, it's undeniable. We have stumbled into some sort of high-tech transportation system that is buried beneath the forests of Kentucky. It makes absolutely no sense, and creates an entirely new sort of fear as to what the hell we have walked into. I notice that Dennis seems confident though. When we reach the large opening, we have to climb over the rails and up onto the platform. I have to help Dennis over the rails. And then up the small utility ladder that is bolted into the upper side of the travelway. When he reaches the large open area resembling a subway waiting area, he collapses on the floor and lets out a heaving breath. You know what? Dennis is exasperated. This is ridiculous. I quit. I'm not going any further. I'm gonna die in this spot. On top of worrying about my crew and the madness of where we are, I am not in the mood for Dennis to act like a baby. What? Get up. Pull it together, Dennis. It's okay. Take it easy. You can do this. I feel like this would actually be the better option. When you feel like you can't go on, something's like, just like, Mr. T has stopped working. What? What do you mean I've stopped working? What's going on? What? I'm still here. You just sat there without doing anything. It's fine. What? Okie dokie. Get it, pull it together, Dennis. I feel like this is a more appropriate approach. If Chris is here, we'd say bless you. I know. I'm ashamed that I'm getting irritated with him. Exactly! I am quite ashamed. I'm gonna start blushing. Oh, you think I'm just relaxing here? He says sarcastically. Sorry if I'm slowing your progress. Great plan he got here, by the way. His response makes my blood boil. What? I don't need this shit from him right now. That's for sure. Yank him up by his collar or help him up slowly. Well, let's not go too harsh on him. I want to help him up slowly. I can't stand the guilt anymore. A sappy apology comes out of my mouth before I can clap my lips down against it. I'm sorry I lost my temper, I say. It was uncalled for, but I'm under some stress here, as I'm sure you can understand. He hesitates for a moment, and I'm sure that he'll ignore me, but he surprises me. I get it, he says. Apology accepted. As for me, sorry I was being a jerk. Apparently bleeding out makes me kinda high-strung. Dennis is always high-strung, and about 2 harsh words away from trading punches with someone. But I keep that to myself. We exchange an awkward look and put it behind us. An awkward look. It is no different than some argument we may have had on the job site or over a few beers. One thing is for sure. I'd much rather be arguing with him over a few beers than here, in this nightmare. I reach down, help him to his feet, and then we get ourselves up onto the platform. Right in front of us, there's an entrance to the long hallway, exiting the platform area. It's at this point that I realize those red emergency lights might be on for someone else who's actually supposed to be here. I don't think we should be yelling out. Such a high-tech, expensive place. We should probably wait. No, we should just stay quiet. What do you think? I don't feel like we should be yelling. Yep, we'll stay quiet. I'm still not sure if I want to alert anyone to the fact that there are strangers in this secret place. And the thought of hearing a scream, even my own scream, Jesus, in this empty place is too much to bear. The emergency... Why? The emergency lights continue to flicker overhead. casting a sick, sort of pinkish light on everything. My mind is racing what sort of place this might be. It's obvious this is meant to be a secret. And if it is supposed to be a secret, and there was a power outage recently, maybe most everyone has been evacuated. This thought does nothing to make me feel any better as we walk towards the platform exit. Step inside, and it seems just as empty as every other place we've come through, weakly illuminated by more overhead emergency lights. We're standing inside a hallway that looks surreal for a moment. Ooh, for a moment. God, imagine them having like a horror house, or like an underground horror thing to walk through, and it was like this. The hallway reminds me of a hospital wing, but there's something not quite right about it, because it's not a hospital wing. It's the first clean and tidy area I've seen since coming into the woods. Oh. It looks like it was recently in use, despite the dim emergency lights overhead. There are chairs against the walls, and the floor looks well cleaned, as do the walls. The ringing noise is definitely coming from here, and a small flashing red light along the ceiling seems to flash along with it. That ringing noise is an alarm, I say, if only to confirm my own thought. But for what? Dennis asks. And then he asks a question that's been on my mind since we fell in that hole. What the hell is this place? We exchange a look, and that speaks volumes. We reach the end of the hallway and hear a sound like a large metallic grinding. This is followed by a clicking noise, and then the unmistakable noise of a generator kicking on. Well, someone's there. Oh. We have lighted power! Cool! Without warning, the facility jolts to life. The red glow of the emergency lights is suddenly replaced by bright white fluorescent ones. That mechanical hum is oddly comforting. Somehow the power being back on urges us on. It's then that I notice the ringing noise has stopped. So it had been an alarm. But for what? Just a power failure? We head down the hallway, the electric hum of the lights sounding eerie overhead. Other than that, the place is dead quiet. The hall is about 100 feet long, with two main doors. One door opens onto a large room that looks like a conference room, with a whiteboard and papers strewn about it. Across the hallway, another door looks like a laboratory of some sort. Dennis slumps against the wall in defeat, and lets out a scary sounding chuckle. Something funny? I ask, as a dark and broadening panic starts to grip me. Dennis just keeps chuckling as he slides down to the floor. I'm just gonna sit here while you look around, he says. There's a look in his eyes that reminds me far too much of a dead animal on the side of the road. Wow. Should we enter the conference room, or should we enter the lab? What do you all think? Well, lab has the majority. It's gotta be a lab. Ooh, it's a very small one. Man, there's a key in that one. Walking inside. Why am I yawning? I see small vials and glass containers held in a clear glass case. Everything is either glass or silver, and I instantly feel like I am dirtying the place up. I notice several test tubes in glass cases, as well as some sort of tube system that seems to have a clear fluid trapped inside of it. In the back corner, I found a laptop in screensaver mode. Look at test tubes, or look at the laptop. Well, I don't think we're a scientist, so looking at the test tubes isn't really going to help. I think the laptop would probably help us more. I hit the enter key. And a plain grey background pops up. There are several icons and folders to choose from. I click on a folder labeled Test 1.5 EFOS. A few documents are filled with formulas and names I mostly don't understand. But there are some things that are easy to understand. Things that make my blood go cold. Subject number 6. Cause of death, embolism, or aneurysm. Or both. Probably pronounced that wrong. Ideas for new delivery mode. Circular. What? Hang on. How do you pronounce this word? Spherical. Liquid. Induce comatose state first. TerraCore CO equals possible plutonium supplier. I suppose we can look. Spherica. Spherical. Spherical? Look at the test tubes. I can't help but check out the test tubes. They're all filled with varying green and light blue fluids. One of them looks to have some sort of glowing dirt resting in the bottom of it. Glowing dirt. Another holds what looks like a grasshopper submerged in liquid. Only it's the straightest grasshopper I've ever seen. At first it looks like it's expanding and contracting, like a blowfish. Then it contracts so much that it vanishes completely. As I look closer, it springs back into existence in a completely different test tube, and I'm embarrassed when I actually jump back. I take another look around the lab, trying to piece together what might have been taking place here. I smell some sort of chemical in the air, and it makes me think that my voice is going. That someone has used this lab recently. Outside in the hallway, I hear Dennis grunting. I head out of the room to see him still seated on the floor. But I don't get very far, because as I exit, a man comes rushing around the corner with an automatic rifle in his hand. Well... okay. Lovely music. It's hard to look beyond his rifle, but the man carrying it is young, with messy dark hair. His skin is so pale that I wonder if maybe he lives down here. He has the look of a guy who's been cooped up for a little too long. He doesn't seem like the kind of person I'd trust with a gun in a stressful situation. As he sees us in the doorway, he screams and brings the gun up. It is aimed directly at my head. So should we try to attack, or put our hands up in the air like we just don't care? Right, I think trying to attack. I don't know. British, it doesn't say that he's close. So why would you try? Not to trust means he looks menacing. Yes. We'll try saying hands up in the air. Yep, put my hands up in the air. Surprised at how natural it feels to go into this surrendered state. Maybe it's because this feels like a dream. Maybe because I feel like I'll snap awake if the maniac pulls the trigger. Who are you and how did you get here? The man asks harshly. Before we can answer, he continues speaking. I don't recognize you. If you're here, you would have had to sneak by the security mics and the entrance hall. What? I ask, unable to think of anything else to say. Who are you? The man asked. Did you do this? The man eyes us both, and I see something in his eyes that unsettles me. He is scared. But there's something else. We're just lodgers. We're nobody. Don't shoot us. We're just lodgers. We're nobody. Don't shoot us. I'm a nobody. Don't shoot me. I don't think he cares. I don't think he would care either answer, really. Do you look like augurs? Oogers, boogers? I would suppose so. Yes. Considering we were doing our work when we got knocked out and woke up again. So if we look like loggers, is there any point stating that? Because if you say don't shoot us, that's like a guilt trip, you know, like, we're human. Probably this one. As long as you don't give me a reason, I won't. The man says, okay, good. But until I know I can trust you, this barrel is going to stay right where it is. Well, okay. Someone knocked the power out, the man says. It's back on now. But if it was out long enough, well, we're in a heap of trouble. I feel like I'm in trouble. Was it you? Who sent you? Look, we don't know what you're talking about. Dennis says, something happened out in the woods. Are you alone? Are the others with you? The Armman asks, thrusting a gun in my face. How the hell did we get into this situation? I think to myself. If he hadn't fallen into that hole, we wouldn't be here. I'm not really sure if you want to be giving this guy information. We don't know anything about him. Then again, he might have answers. No, just us, or we're looking for our crew. And we just happened to stumble into your secret place. And continued going through your secret place. And now we're here. Please don't shoot us. We're nobodies. Ah. We have other crew members that we can't find. Your crew? He asks. Seeming confused and a little tired. If this man thinks that we're nuts, there's no telling what he might do. The fact that he looks a little crazy himself makes the situation even hairier. But how'd you get in here? The man asks. I point down the hall towards the subway. We came in that way. The doors weren't locked. His expression calms down a bit, but I'm still very aware of the gun that is leveled less than a foot away from my face. Well, he's pretty close. Please put the gun down or grab his gun again. You're still very much aiming for the head. I feel like grabbing the gun is definitely not a way of going about this. So again, we're saying please. Yes, the man calmly. Yeah. The only way I'm putting this rifle down is after I've blown your brains out. With that, he uses the muzzle of the gun to flip my hard hat onto the floor. It's a childish move. A playground tactic at best. It's sufficient to show me that he knows he's in control now. He then levels the rifle at Dennis, and I can only assume it's because his wounds make him appear to be the weaker of us. The man takes a shaky step forward. Dennis looks back and forth between the barrel of the gun and me, his eyes pleading for help. Step between Dennis and the gun, or stay back. It's a bit of a conundrum. I would grab something now. What do you think, Annika? What would be your way of going about this? Maybe by stepping back we can find a hammer. Oh. I feel like I'm a bit of a pickle here. Yeah, originally you both wanted to go for a step between. I'm going to say step between. I did it. Before I'm fully aware of what I'm doing, I step out in front of Dennis. The barrel of the rifle is nearly touching my chest now. Both Dennis and the man seem a little confused at my action. and I do my best to swallow down my fear. I don't know what's going on here, I say, but we are here by mistake. Well, you have no business here, the man says. Now the power is on, I think you might be too late anyway. For what? I ask. But he doesn't answer me. Instead, he steps forward and actually pushes me backwards with the end of his rifle. The man then repeats a question he asked before. One that makes no sense and honestly makes me think he might be a little crazy. Who sent you? He asks. You assholes from the Pentagon? The Pentagon? I'm not quite sure how to take this question. Is this guy joking? No, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah. I'm the president. I really don't feel like joking around with him is the best approach here. I think I should go more serious. I'm the president. No, we're just loggers. Something blew up and my friend got hurt. We're looking for the rest of our crew. A likely story, the man says. I see a flicker of recognition in his face that makes me think he might believe me. Progress. Still, his grip on the gun is as tight as ever. A look on his face makes me think he'll shoot at any moment. You both just stand still, he says. Sooner or later, someone will come along, and I'll turn you over. He again thrusts the gun forward, as if it has an invisible bayonet on it. There's no need for that, I tell him. I have no guarantee that he won't pull the trigger. Look, Dennis says, we don't want any trouble. We're just as confused as you are. Then, in a movement so fast that I just about miss it, Dennis lunges forward. I have no idea how he's moving so fast. Just 30 seconds ago, I was worried about how close to death he looked. And now, he's moving lightning fast, his left arm coming down the barrel of the gun like a club. In the commotion, the man does pull the trigger. The booming noise is deafening, and there's a moment where I think I've been hit. It takes the clanging noise of a round tearing into the floor at my feet to help me realize that I have not been shot. I look to the floor and see where the shot missed my right leg by less than 3 inches. I'm paralyzed and shocked for a moment as Dennis and the man fight over possession of the rifle. There's a fire extinguisher on the wall I could use as a bludgeon, but I might not have enough time to grab it before Dennis is overpowered. Grab the fire extinguisher and come back, or just punch him. Ooh. Oh god, I'm lost in this so much. I've forgotten what was the last one we did. Punching might be too weak. So you reckon we should grab the fire extinguisher and come back? I don't think we're buff. Because at the start, our character described Dennis as being built like a wrestler. I personally never hit with my fist that does nothing. There's always the chance that if we go for the fire extinguisher and try to come back, something might happen. Dennis is, or was, kind of like near death. So if you are a wrestler, go for it. Can we please have easy questions again? Oh, we'll try punching him. We still have our ankle is still twisted as well. That's another thing. Our ankle is twisted, so we won't have much of a force, I suppose. That is also a risk. I feel like running away from fire extinguisher is also a big risk. But the ankle also is bad hurting, so we should go for punching him, or at least assisting him. 2 people holding a gun down is better than 1. Dennis has the man pinned to the floor, but isn't strong enough to keep him down. As I fall to the floor to help, the barrel of the rifle swings right in front of my face, a reminder of how close I had come to being shot. On my knees now, I deliver a hard, stiff punch to the man's face. I don't punch someone often. Never really. I'm not usually the brawling type. Still, it is apparently effective. The man snaps back hard, and his grip on the gun loosens. Kick out way. Our attacker is immobilized, and I can feel a shift in the situation. Yet, although he's basically harmless now, I feel I need to pummel him. A desire that builds with each second I look at him. Stand up and step back, or keep punching him. I feel like did somebody just hit something? Am I hearing things? Thought I heard a knock. Stand up and step back. I'll stand up and step back. Ooh. You took it easy on the man. He's definitely out now, no fret. Or at least that's what I think. But he surprises me by mustering up one more swift kick in my direction, connecting with my forehead. My eyelids swell to the size of a grape almost immediately. It seems like this last attack is more to spite me than to defend himself. I stumble back and rid myself in front of a round of blows, but he just slouches into the floor. He's done. Dennis instantly hands the rifle over to me. I take it with shaking hands. Can't believe you stepped between me and that gun, Dennis says. He could have killed you. I was pretty sure he wouldn't, I said, though I had known no such thing. Still, thanks, man. That was some heroic stuff. You would have done the same, right? Dennis says nothing. His eyes look to the floor. What do we do now, boss? Dennis asks. We've come this far and I want answers. I sense that Dennis does too. I walk over and pick up my hard hat off the floor. After placing it on my head, I turn towards the man. We get answers from this guy. No answers, the man says. I don't have any. Next time, I won't just hit you, I say, plunging the rifle towards him. Now get up. He obeys quickly, but his legs are wobbly, and he leans against the wall for support. I can feel my swollen eyelid from where he kicked me earlier. I just hope it doesn't get so bad that it affects my sight. Okay, let's move, I say, pointing the gun further down the hallway. We've come this far, and I'm not going to let this guy stop us. We walk down the hallway until we come to the end. A single elevator waits for us. Its steel sliding doors larger than a normal elevator. Well, that's not creepy at all. It's the door to hell. Before I get into the elevator with this guy, I think it's wise to learn a bit more about him. I can tell it's making him uncomfortable for me to have the gun. What's your name, I ask. Marcus. And you work here? It's clear that he doesn't want to answer, but he gives us a little nod. We're looking for the rest of our crew. Any idea where they might be, I ask. No, he says curtly, not bothering to elaborate. There's gotta be some useful info we can get out of this guy. I just need to know how to dig for it. I need a first aid for my friend here, I say. Where might I find one? Down on the second floor, he says. But we can't go down there. We are going down there, okay? Or, what's on level 2? I think I should. It's probably not gonna. I'd ask anyway. You'd never know. Probably not gonna tell him anything, though. He looks at me like I'm an idiot. You must be aware you're inside of a classified government facility, he says. It makes sense, but I want to doubt it. Well, I'm sure our government would want you to help save my friend, so take me to the first aid kit. I can't, he says. You don't have clearance. Hell, I barely have clearance. Then, seemingly to himself, he mutters, I make this place run. And not even a thank you. Just a bunch of restricted access rooms that I'm only allowed to go into with a friggin' Chaperone. I interrupt his monologue. We're going to that first aid kit. I could lose my job, he says. I wonder for a moment what sort of trouble I could get in for hitting a government employee. This makes me glad I took it easy on him. Then again, he had come at us with a rifle. It makes me think that things have gone terribly wrong in this place. No kidding. And the explosion in the woods, or whatever the hell had happened, might be linked to all of it. I need to convince him to take us to the second floor, but I'm not sure if it would be more productive to threaten him or ask for sympathy. So, should we stick the rifle up his butt, or give him a cup of coffee? What do you guys think? What kind of approach should we have here? Should we stick it up his butt? Ah, I have a nasty burn on me, and it's horrible. Threaten him. Whoop. Stick a rifle up his butt. I don't know if he works there. He might be only doing his job. We're kind of split here. I feel like if we threatened him, he could become a problem later on. We could push him this way. I'm gonna have to ask for help. Look, it hasn't been the best day. We're just trying to find out what's going on, to find our crew, to survive. Go for it, push him. Oh, too late. I know that it isn't a normal situation down here. It looks like all your protocols have been blown to hell. Can you help us out? He looks at me sternly, weighing his options. Okay, it says. Thank you, I say. With an untrusting stare, Marcus walks to the elevator door, approaching a small keypad by the doors. He punches in a numerical code on the keypad, and we could hear a slight mechanical hum behind the steel doors. After a few seconds of angry glances and frightened sneers from Marcus, the elevator arrives. The steel doors slide open with a whisper, revealing the interior. Steel doors whisper to you. Or just goes open and say, shh. Yeah, we're in the elevator now. Okay. It's exceptionally well lit and looks to be made of stainless steel. No, it wasn't. I half expect the thing to take off at the speed of light. There's another small keypad on the floor. Floor? On the front right panel by the door, the options for 3 sublevel floors. It looks like this elevator doesn't go to the surface. So, after we get a first aid kit for Dennis, how do we get out of here, I ask. We can't leave, Marcus says. Once the power came back on, the whole place was put on lockdown. What? Can't you override it? No, it's to prevent anything from getting out. I can't. Marcus looks as deflated as Dennis. We can't get out. We're stuck here. Dennis leans into the corner and almost falls onto the floor. The struggle for the rifle took a lot out of him. I could see that much in his face. Slowly, we start to move down. The hum and grind of the car's motors fill the space. What can you do? Or, so, are we stuck here forever? I'm gonna say, what can you do? Because obviously we can't be stuck here forever, especially if there's an emergency. Marcus bristles at the question, but I think it's fair. I mean, he's not allowed to lock the doors or get medical supplies, for some dumb reason. Why keep a guy around who can't even grab a band-aid without permission? Exactly. Without me, nothing would get done here. Like, Like what? These people think they're so brilliant that someone can barely turn their computers on without help. The top quarter of my class at MIT, and I'm stuck living underground, helping idiots who don't even trust me with keys. How big is this place? Or, what goes on here? This'll be your future job, Chris. They don't even trust you with keys. Not even a band-aid. But they'll give you a gun. Yeah, that makes sense. Will it be? You never know. I don't think so. I'll be a YouTuber. Hey! No. So, how big is this place or what goes on here? Well, what do we think? Annika, what do we think? Asking what they do is more sneaky and suspicious, yes. They'll still think where I come from. The second one, ooh, conflict. Because they were accusing us of being from the Pentagon. So asking what goes on here would be like, hang on. I thought you were just loggers. I thought you just wanted to get out of here. The second one, or not. We'll go for how big is this place then? I reckon we should go for how big is this place. How big is this place? It's a government facility of the highest secrecy. That's not what we asked. A research facility. It goes 4 stories underground, and quite frankly, it scares the piss out of me that you two got in here so easily. Why is that? I ask. This is a black ops graveyard, he replies. Even the CIA doesn't know this place exists. What goes on here? So what's your job? Okay, like, it's nothing but question asking. I feel like we're set up to be doomed here. Like, the guy's just gonna be like, hang on, why are you asking all these questions? So definitely should continue to skip that what goes on here thing. So what's your job? Are you the it's not the janitor. It's not the cleaner. What is he? He's not giving keys, he's restricted. Can't really go anywhere. But he runs a place. So what's your job? I handle the IT work and make sure the databases are up and running. It's a 24/7 job. I haven't seen sunlight in almost a year. I wonder what staying in a place like this for that long would do to someone's mind. I was recruited, he continues. Because of the workload, no one else wants this job. But I don't really mind being myself. No family. Plus the IT, some crazy shit. Crazy? How? I ask. This place generates over 100 terabytes of data per day, he answers, getting not the slightest bit excited before his face falls again. 100 terabytes per day. What happened here? Or what knocked the lights out? Oh, so it is my job. Woo. What do you guys reckon? Do you think I should be I mean, technically, both like very similar questions. You know, what knocked out the lights, or what happened here that caused the nights to get locked out? What happened? Okay, what happened here? What happened here, man? What happened here? Seems like some sort of power outage. That's all I know. There was an outage and then... Then what? Dennis asked weakly. That things got weird. Things got bad. Bad how? I asked. The whole place seemed to shake when the lights went out. I was checking the monitors when it happened, and everything went dead. It took no more than a minute or so before I started hearing the screams. People were being killed by... something. I tried getting the security cameras going again, but they only lasted for a little bit in my backup systems. But what I saw... What? I asked, feeling a sharp fear worm its way into my guts. Well, what I saw on the screens for that little bit of time made no sense. It made me get the gun from the emergency vault. I think whatever it is, it's still down here. Hold on, I say. There's an emergency vault with a rifle in the same room as the security cameras in this place? Marcus gives me a grin that looks nearly insane. There are guns locked away in every room in this place, just in case, you know? Just in case of what? So, we're still in danger here? Just in case the thing that did this, it killed those people come after us. These are dumb questions. So we're still in danger here? Just in case of what? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Gonna pat a cute cat. Gotta pet a cute cat. As he opens his mouth to answer, the elevator comes to a stop and the door slide up. Okay, so he would have answered. Marcus is out right away without a word. He makes his exit and heads directly for a glassed-in room that's filled with computer monitors and high-end equipment. Dennis and I file up behind him, trying to keep up. As we do, one very alarming question runs through my head. What the hell kind of government facility keeps loaded guns and emergency vaults in every single room? End of chapter 2. We are getting quite far. No, that's lies. I think, remember when I did recording this, I did 2 chapters. Curiosity. Ooh. Obey the warning. A lot of people went to it? Really? A lot of people were very selfishness. And most of us were easy on Marcus. How about that? But a lot of people went from the radioactive stuff. Maybe they thought they'd become Spider-Man. Chapter 3. We will be here all night. Well, high tech. Sure. We follow Marcus in what I can only describe as a control room of sorts. There are countless computer screens, some of which are obviously coming back on from having been shut off. Everything looks extremely complicated, from screens filled with code and data to what is obviously a security system. It reminds me of a miniaturized version of the Operations Center in just about every space travel movie I've ever seen. Marcus is running from one screen to another, apparently looking for some pertinent bit of information. Where's the first aid kit? I snap at him. Marcus stops in his tracks as if he's forgotten the whole reason for bringing us down here. Oh yeah, he says, rushing to the left side of the room. There he hunkers down by an open panel in the ground, what I assume is the emergency vault from where he got the rifle. Look at the computer monitors or peer into the open vault. No, hang on. He literally told us that every room there is a vault that contains a gun. So you could very well be going straight to the vault for another gun. I'm very much convinced of this, because he literally said, you know, gun in every single room. Because we're only assuming. We're only assuming it. What if he got it from somewhere else? Check. I peer over Marcus' shoulder into the vault he's opened. It's much larger than it looks from the outside. It's partially filled with file folders marked classified, a few rounds of ammo for a rifle, a peculiar plastic kit filled with syringes, and a locked black box. As Marcus sticks around, one of the folders slides open. For the split second it's open, I see a scanned document and a color photo. The photo shows a male corpse, which is guts on the outside of its body as if it has been turned inside out. There's also massive swelling on his head. almost like his skull was about to explode. Marcus slaps the folder closed, and then I turn my attention to one of the syringes. It's filled with a violet-colored fluid that, while rather pretty in color, looks deadly. Marcus finally pulls out the first aid kit and turns around. When I look back to motion Dennis over, he's paler than ever. Come on, I tell him, but he's not moving from the place on the floor where he sits against the wall. I slide the first aid kit over to him and go scrambling to his side. Between the struggle for the rifle upstairs and arriving in this room, he's faded fast. I struggle to lift his shirt up and then over his shoulders, as the dried blood holds it in place. The mere act causes him to grimace. This might hurt a little, I tell Dennis. He only nods. He doesn't seem to care. Pull off shirt gently, or pull shirt off quickly? No, I'm pretty sure we should do it gently. Because if the bleeding is stopped, then it's a clot. And the clot actually might be stuck to the shirt. So if we were to if we took it off quickly, we may remove the natural bandage and he could start bleeding all over again, and he's very drained and pale. So we should probably do it very gently to make sure we're not causing any more damage. Yeah. Because they'd be like, why would you take it off quickly? Go up this one. You lift the shirt off gently and it makes a sucking sound. There's so much blood that the moisture tries to keep the shirt pulled to him. Dennis lets out a little moan but seems to relax in spite of his injuries. With the shirt fully removed, the extent of his injuries become more clear. His wound is more visible now, although he's partially hidden by the blood that started to clot around it. My medical knowledge is slim, basically just a bunch of basics I learned in Boy Scouts. I look over to Marcus hopefully and ask, "You have any training?" "Zero. Sorry." It's just as well, I guess. He's far too concerned about what's happening on the monitor to be much of help anyway. I start by taking out several rolls of gauze without the kit and wipe as much blood as I can away from the wound on his side. It's even worse than I figured from the start. The gash is deep and dark. I'm pretty sure it's infected too. He's going to need stitches, that's for sure. But I have no idea how to even start that. Besides, I don't see the tools for it in the kit. When I splash rubbing alcohol over the wound, he spawns with a hoarse yelp of surprise, but nothing more. His eyes are locked on me, and he looks appreciative, but he's also scared. "Be honest," Dennis says hopefully. "How bad does it look? You think I'll live?" "It looks really bad." "Oh, you'll be fine. No problem. Best to keep him relaxed." I would say definitely best to keep him relaxed. Because if he starts to panic, people panicking with that kind of situation is never good. Gotta keep him calm. I mean, if he were to panic too much, I don't know. I think it would be best to say you'll be fine. "Good to know," he says, "because I sure don't feel like that. You've been through hell." I think he feels worse than it actually looks. "Thanks." That's a relief. "I won't lie, you're going to have a scar," I say, trying to be funny. He chuckles a bit, but there's no humor in it. He rests his head against the wall and closes his eyes as I finish up. I place one layer of gauze against the wood and bind it with medical tape. I then reinforce it with a second layer. I know it's meager, but it's all I can do. "Thanks, Roger," he says, actually managing to force out a smile. "I feel a lot better. I think I'll be fine." I'm not so sure about that, but I'm glad I was able to encourage him. I look back to Marcus, and he's looking back at us, deep in thought. My eye is starting to really swell up from where he kicked me earlier. Maybe I shouldn't have let him off so easy. "Are these first aid kits all you have in this facility?" I ask him. "If there's something better, I don't know about it," he says. I notice that his defensive posture is no longer there. Something is different now. There's a slight change to his demure. He's seen something on these monitors that has frightened him, more than he already was before. "What is it?" I ask. "What's wrong?" His eyes travel around the room, and it's obvious that he's trying to decide whether or not to tell me the truth. Come on, spit it out. Get up and look at the monitors. This dude definitely doesn't trust us, so I don't feel like getting near him is the best way of going about it. Yes, exactly, yes. Don't go there, he might attack you, or look at them. Conflict, I like it. I like this. Good old conflict. Again, we're split. Chances are whatever you saw might not be there anymore. So I think it's best just to ask. Just what in the hell is going on here, I ask. Not even really sure what to do with the answer. You might not even understand what's on there. Yeah. His defiant gaze tell me that he's not going to be of any help. So I decide to look around for myself. After a few moments of repositioning myself, I see a few things that even I can comprehend hidden in the complex information of most of the screens. On one screen, I see what looks like a power meter that is slowly climbing upwards. A single message is flashing beneath it. It reads. Yep, that's what it reads. Unexpected power failure, foreign entity. Another message trickling along the bottom of a black screen says, safety locks on level 3, containment doors engaged, override? I see still scenes on a few other screens that I assume are security cameras showing hallways and passages from elsewhere in the facility. One of them shows the first level hallway we were on just a few minutes ago. Another shows a hallway I don't recognize. The floor is covered in blood. From just off the screen, I see what I think might be a human body, but it's bent in an impossible way. It looks like the body's legs and torso somehow merged or melted into the floor. Foreign? Yep. Unexpected power failure. Foreign entity. Interesting choice of word. What's wrong with the systems? Or what happened to that person there? In that kind of scenario, I think my brain would go more towards this one. Like, what the hell happened there? Because even he might not know what's wrong with the systems because it's kind of pointless, but then if maybe he saw something that happened? I have no idea. I didn't see it, he says. Whatever happened to that guy was happened in the last minute or so. What the hell? I ask. Is something still happening? Are we still in danger? He turns away, clearly fearing he has already said too much. And as bad as that is, there's a scene on another monitor that makes my blood go cold and my fear spike to levels somewhere near terror. The scene is very familiar. It's the logging site. The equipment is unmistakably mine. I could even see my truck. Something like fury starts to rise up in my guts, momentarily pushing aside the fear. For a moment, I consider just tearing into him. A few punches and a shove against the wall, nothing more. I want answers, and I want to know them now, but I'm not sure which would provide more answers, asking calmly or kicking his ass. So what should we do? Should we stick the rifle up his butt again? Or give him another cup of coffee? What you guys reckon? Doodle-loo. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Stay calm. Gotta be calm. Drink a cup of coffee. Eat some bread. We'll stay calm. Could you please explain to me why you've been spying on my crew? My anger is prodding at me, and I have to hold it back again. It's near the surface, and Chris just posted something demanding a release. It was part of my job, mine and a few others. Your crew has been watched ever since you set up your equipment. Why? Because you're working with heavy equipment, some of which digs into the ground, less than a mile from a secret government facility. I had no idea of that. How could I have known? Marcus gives me that same crooked, trembling smile that is beginning to creep me out. Because those things would draw attention to this place, he says. You have no idea how secretive this facility is. Besides, I know that the higher-ups looked into it. Your site isn't on government land. It's shy by about 300 yards. Every piece of your equipment is on private property. The timber tract you purchased from Mount Gladstone 2 months ago. Oh, looks like Mr. So even if we wanted to intervene and keep your crew away, we couldn't have without stirring up a fuss. The fact that someone with such a low-level clearance knows this much about my logging crew is unnerving. If you've been watching us, why didn't you recognize us when we met in the hallway? He shakes his head and exhales, like it's obvious. The cameras have a bird's eye view. I can't see faces. We just track bodies and names. Nope. not on the wavelength. But you kind of were for a little bit. So where the hell is my crew? Or do we ask calmly again? Another cup of coffee. Opinions, people, opinions. Stick rifle up butt or don't stick rifle up butt? We're not too sure. Because if you can see the bodies, then you'd see where they go. I'll be going on a Calmly train, so we should continue the Calmly train. The Calmly train. So since you have all this surveillance, do you know where the rest of my crew is? I do my best to keep my voice level, even though my impulse is to shout. Well, Marcus says, all of you were on site as usual before the incident. It had been a few hours since I had checked for though. They might have come near the facility, or maybe not. I don't know. He says this casually, like it's not important. Well, are they inside the facility? I ask. You have cameras everywhere, right? Do you see them? Marcus shakes his head. I've been looking all over and I haven't seen your crew. They aren't here. But, he adds, the lower levels don't have any cameras. Classified. I'm not sure how they would have gotten there, but it's a possibility. I'm still shocked that we were being watched. They didn't know everything about us? I'm telling you, the depth of influence in this facility goes deep. There are 36 employees down here. Outside of those employees, only 5 other people know this place exists. So, do we ask him, what the hell goes on here? Or ask calmly. just constant ask calmly. Remain calm. Do not stick up a butt. Please remain calm. So we continue the calmly train. We'll go for the calmly train. Calmly train it shall be. What do all these people do here? I ask, keeping my voice level. He doesn't even pause to consider if he should go any further. He actually laughs when he gives me the answer. I honestly don't know everything. Probably very little. But what I do know is it is more than black ops. What does that mean? I ask. There are scientists here who have been disowned by their own governments because of the nature of their work. You get it now? I don't. Not at all. But I don't want him to know about that. You said there are 36 employees. Where are they now? Oof, he shakes his head. As far as I know, everyone else is gone. Gone where? He points to the screen that still informs us of the unexpected power failure and cringes. If this power failure was not corrected in time, there's no telling. But they're here in the facility somewhere, right? I ask, hoping someone will be able to help Dennis better than I can. I just don't know, Marcus says. They could be anywhere. Look, I say, furious with the way he's talking in riddles. I don't... Hey, boss, Dennis says, his voice flat and toneless. He stands up and is now looking blankly at one of the monitors. My eyes follow his, and when I see what's on the monitor, my heart pounds in my chest. Who is that? He asks, indicating the portion of a leg sticking out from the overturned dozer. Guilt slams into me like a bullet between the eyes. In my panic and fear, I had avoided even trying to pull him out. More than that, I still haven't told Dennis. Holy shit, he says, looking closer. It's Tony. He's dead. Dennis looks like he's just been punched in the stomach. He looks at me, unbelieving. Did you know? Dennis demands. Why is Marcus giving them so much information when he talks about being top secret and stuff? I guess because we're being so calm. Calmly. So. Yep. So we originally did tell him that, well, originally didn't tell him the fact that he had died. They were practically like brothers, their relationship between each other. Did you know? To say no is a bit of a dick move. Just so saying yes. I don't particularly want to make this decision. Oh god. Okay. Did you know? If I say no, what if Marcus is watching on the monitors? Then he wouldn't have known it was me. And to say yes, especially in this condition, would make him less willing to carry on. Doing a bad to do a good. Oh no, this is not an easy decision to make. This is not an easy decision to make at all. God, if only I remembered. Okay, say no, risk lying. Because if he's turned around and says, no, I saw you be there, it's like, well, how do you know it was me? Because you only see bodies. Oh! He snaps. When you walk up to him in the woods, you came from the dozer area. You had to have seen him. I wasn't over there. Cuts me off not buying it. You knew Tony was dead this whole time and didn't tell me? This whole time? He stands up and lunges at me, but is too weak. I take a step back, avoiding his advance. What could it have done? I ask. You'd still be hurt, and we'd still be here anyway. I didn't want to add more to your plate. He only glares at me, and I think I see some sort of dull understanding in his eyes. Suddenly, something blazes by the open door outside. The shape is fast and in shadow, but I'm pretty sure it's a person. Someone else is here, Marcus says, wheeling around. He sounds very happy to discover this, so I try to follow his lead. If something bad happened in this facility, then surely the sight of another survivor is a good thing, right? We should check it out, he says. But I can't help but feel like this is a bad moment to leave Dennis. As I turn to tell him I'm heading out with Marcus, he's not even looking at me. It's clear that he's still pissed that I kept him in the dark about Tony. I'm sorry. I should have told you. Look, I didn't know what else to do. Phew. Hmm. Well, I had the option, strictly speaking. So I'm more leaning towards this one. Because although we should have told him, at the same time, he might have just gave up there and then. Probably wouldn't have gone this far. Well, maybe you could have realized that, I don't know, before waiting God knows how many hours. His shout rings in the small room. All I can do is look at the floor. This guy was practically my best. He stops talking, and I can tell he's stifling a sob. I'm so sorry, Dennis. I start. About Tony, but not telling you. I just go check out who that person might be, he says, cutting me off. I turn to Marcus and motion for us to head out to investigate. Let's be careful, Marcus says. Depending on who it is, they might not be as hesitant to shoot a stranger as I was. I nod at him as I head for the door. I'm still holding a rifle in my hand, and I don't know if I have the guts to actually use it if needed. With a final look back to Dennis, I run out into the second level hallway. Interesting music. Marcus follows. There is still fear in his eyes, but also the slightest glimmer of hope. That hope is contagious. We take off after the figure that just ran past the command center. Ahead of us, the facility presents yet another long hallway. Right away, I notice that this level of this facility seems darker, even though the lights are now all on. The hallway is adorned with numbered yellow doorways and large white panels along the walls. It's clean and well maintained, but there's something ominous about it. Up ahead, I see the fleeting motion of something dark, cutting quickly into the left, down a corridor. There, I say quietly, pointing up ahead. Marcus gives a nod, and we continue chasing after the person we saw blaze by the command center just moments ago. It then occurs to me that this person could be like Marcus was at first, armed and scared. Shout at them, or move towards them slowly. I feel like if we did it slowly, they'd think we were sneaking up on them and to do something bad. But if we shout at them, well, their back is to us? Oh, I don't know here. Doing it slowly would be like sneaking. Like, why are you sneaking up on me? Their kind of response would be. It's exactly how I would react. If somebody was sneaking up or walking up slowly behind me, I would feel like why are you doing that? What's your purpose? Maybe Tony is just taking a nap and actually not dead. Who knows? I just talking out a shout, but sneaking is bad. Yep. Hey, stop! Who's there? I get no response, and I'm unsure if I should be relieved or upset about this. The last person we met nearly killed me with a rifle. Why should this person be any different? I quickly dart around the corner and take the same shooting stance I've seen countless times on TV. There's a woman standing there, about 10 feet away. She has reddish blonde hair and a small, mousy build. Mousy build? She looks terrified and is visibly shaking. She's probably in her late 30s, wearing a lab coat with dark jeans and green Converse low tops. I have a strange sense that her fear is not just about our sudden appearance. She looks like a woman who's been running scared for a while now. Her hands are raised in surrender. She's not holding a weapon. Marcus slowly approaches, taking a few steps ahead of me. It's Amy, right? He asks. She blinks, seemingly surprised that he knows her name. Yes, she says. And you're Marcus. She nods absently, and then looks to my rifle. I'm not going to use it, or we want some answers. So she's a scientist, or a researcher of some kind. She has a lab coat. Or maybe she is from the Pentagon. Maybe she's investigating this place. She's a spy pretending to be. I don't know. I think this would be the better approach. Dude. What? What? Why? Why what? I'm more leaning towards this, though. What do you think, Annika? No question. This one is better. No question, this one is better. Now, how do I know that? She asks. You're trespassing on government property in the midst of a huge catastrophic event. And you have a rifle. How am I supposed to believe you? I have a friend back in the command center who needs medical attention, and we're looking for the rest of our crew. I'm really sorry, but I don't know where they are. Do you know what's happened here? Marcus asks. From the power outage? I don't know what caused it, she says, but there was an experiment taking place when the outage occurred. Something happened, and she trails off here, giving me a look of distrust. I saw things on the security monitors, Marcus says. The experiment failed, didn't it? I don't know the specifics, Amy says. I barely escaped the third floor. I was going to go to the command center to see if the security footage showed anything, but then I saw you in the gun. Listening to the conversation, I'm feeling totally in the dark. What experiments? What has you so scared? At this point, I'm not particularly interested in the experiments, but the thing after the experiment. I'm going to go for this one. Amy looks to me, her eyes wide and terrified. Who are you, anyway? She asks. I quickly give her our story. A logger stranded in the woods following a peculiar explosion at the logging site. As I tell her, recognition blooms in her eyes. You're one of the loggers? Yes. She looks to Marcus and says, I thought they were being watched. And they were. This was a freak accident, and there's no proof that they were responsible. I feel myself wanting to submit to all of the questions that are piling up in my head, but Dennis is waiting for me. Ask about medical help for Dennis, or ask for more details. What do you guys think? You can ask if she knows if she is a first aider, or ask for more details. I feel like at the moment, Dennis's condition is more important. I think the medical stuff is not deadly for now. It's like a rough patch. Like it literally just like a rough patch. I think all we did was, yeah, what we did was we rubbed alcohol around the wound, put on a padding, and then put the tape around it. And we did that twice. Like there's no actual sewing up or closing up the wound. We're just leaving it to fate, pretty much. Get more alcohol. Get more alcohol. We'll ask for more alcohol. I decided, despite my curiosity, I need to get Dennis help as soon as humanly possible. Look, is there any medical help to be had here or not? I ask. Probably, he says. But you'd have to find Colonel Barksdale. He knows where all this sort of supplies are. And where is he? Where is everyone else? At this, Amy starts to weep. She falls to her knees as if someone has struck her from behind. Gone, she says. Some were killed and some were just... I don't know, they disappeared right in front of me. What the hell is going on here? Apparently we love asking this question. And just... disappeared? Disappeared. Disappeared. Yes, she answers. They were here 1 second and gone the next. Just she snaps her fingers together for effect. Gone! Something's here with us, Amy says. She's been very dramatic now. We were conducting an experiment, and it all went horribly wrong. Something came through. What? Marcus asks. I don't even know that much. An entity, but whatever it is, it's still here somewhere. How could you not know? Don't you have full security access? No, I have access to almost everything, but there are 2 levels of security beyond my clearance. So what do you suggest we do now? I'm not sure, she says, wiping her tears away. But if you want to find your crew, we need to find Barksdale. He's in charge. Where is he? I ask. Down the 3rd level, in the hangar. Then let's go. It's not that easy, Amy says again, looking to the rifle in my hands. Why not? Like I said, something came through when the power went out. There are several of them, all roaming the 3rd level. What came through? Doesn't matter, let's move. Oh my god, nice keyboard skills. Disappear powered. It's the rapture. Or we don't make it. We did not make it into heaven. So what came through? Doesn't matter, let's move. But then she says that she wasn't even there. Or she didn't witness it. Wait, she said something came through and it killed everyone. But she wasn't there. She didn't witness it. I don't have access to those levels. Something came through and killed some and made others disappear. Isn't that a bit of a contradiction? I don't have access, and I can't go there. But I was there anyway. Saw the experiment. I feel like pushing this question now. What came through? Just to see how she responds to that one. What came through? All I know is that the others refer to them as entities. Amy shudders as she recalls the horrors she has seen. I don't even know how to describe them. I didn't get a good look, she says. All I did was run for my life. Behind me, I just heard screams. I know it's not very scientific of me, but I didn't feel like sticking around to learn more. She's right, Marcus says, stopping my train of thought. The things I saw on the monitors, it was crazy. This is insane. I'm going to the 3rd level to fight this Barksdale guy. Thanks for your help. Wait, I'm sticking with you. If we want to get out of here, we have to find Barksdale, right? Yes, Amy says, but Barksdale's on the 3rd floor, and it's too dangerous to go back there. I figure I'll let them make their own decisions. In the meantime, I start heading back to the command center to get Dennis. Before I get there, I hear their footfalls behind me getting closer. I give Amy a questioning look, and she quickly looks away, clearly torn. Neither one of you know your way around here, she says. Looking for Barksdale on your own would be suicide. Like her or not, she has a point. Fine. Then let's get Dennis from the command center and head down together. Ooh. Let's go see how Dennis does. Dennis! We enter the command center and happy to see that Dennis has regained some of his color. Yay! We're going to get you some help. I tell him. And then we're going to find our crew and get the hell out of here. More help would be great, he says. With the way you took an hour to get my shirt off earlier, I'm not letting you touch me again. Dude, really? Wait. Maybe one of us should stay here with him. I'll be okay, Dennis says. He stands to his feet with a grunt. We don't know what's out there, Amy says. I saw them. I saw what they can do. This facility is not safe. What can they do? Or are there any of them on this floor? I think I'll let you and Annika decide. Let's see if you and Annika are on the same wavelength or not. Do 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 do. Stop it. Jesus, stop it. Oh god. Give me your arguments. Why do you think that what makes you tell me why you decided to choose the options that you chose. Decided to choose. Choose? Josie. I don't care really much, but maybe they can tell us, no, it is safe, or yes, we need to leave. Right. Annika? Technically, I would want to ask both questions. You know, what can they do, and are any of them on this floor? And, not or, and. Well, they're already on this floor, so why would it matter to ask now if there are any? True. Would it matter? Suppose, would it really matter if there's anyone on the floor or not? Well, I guess if there were any, the chance would be big that they would be dead, yes. I don't know, I hate discussions. Just please, Chris. What can they do? Or are there any of them on the floor? Oh. Because this is all about leaving Dennis on his own or not. But they could easily just end up being on this floor anyway. I'm gonna have to go for what can they do? What can they do? Oh, you surrender. Okay. Never mind. Come on. We just need to be careful. What? Marcus looks a little hesitant, but he nods his agreement, and the four of us exit the command center. Heading back out into the hallway, I look back to the monitors. I take a final look at the screen that shows my wrecked logging site. I feel a pang of sorrow. Then I look to the other monitors, showing live feeds of the facility's security cameras. I try to tell myself that I'm not looking for any signs of Amy's creatures, but I can't. That's exactly what I'm doing, and there's no need to pretend otherwise. We head back through the hall and towards the elevator. The tension exists between us is like a physical presence. Back into the elevator. A very creepy elevator. Very creepy indeed. We step inside the elevator, and those pristine doors close. Inside the elevator, ABC has become much more guarded and distant from us. A close environment, I suppose. Only woman there. Sexist. I want to assure her that I mean her no harm, but I'm also not going to put the rifle down. So you have pretty high clearance in this place, right? That's right. So what kind of experiment are we talking about? What went wrong? When she starts to answer my question, I can tell that it is something of a relief for her to get some of it off her chest. There's been a lot of work on a project taking place over here the last 3 years or so. The purpose is to find out if there is any real, viable science behind point-to-point instantation. Like teleporting. Oh my god. I had no idea. I knew there was some weird stuff here, but nothing this insane, Marcus says. It's really not all that insane, Amy says. We found our first major breakthrough about 9 months ago. We were able to transport a live rat from its cage on level 3 to a small lab in New Mexico. The trip took the rat 5 seconds. Are you kidding me? Dennis says. I could tell he wants to sound up as he's mocking the idea, but he fails. He's scared. Not at all, Amy says. The problem was that when the rat arrived, its retinas were detached and its intestines were on the outside of his body. Sounds flawless. Perfect, let's do it. What does this have to do with us now, and or did you ever perfect it? What does this have to do with us now? Well, about 6 months ago, we successfully made that same experiment. The rat arrived in great health, and this time in just 3 seconds. Still, one of the things that we needed to tweak in order to make the process completely safe was how to figure out how to keep the subject on the straight course. When the matter is being transported, not only are its atoms being unknit and then put back together upon arrival, unknit or transported? Unknit. This is what happened to the dude of the picture. So, Annie, Flip, same wavelength. Go for it. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. This is possible. You gotta be able to build us up. We've got an unknit, followed by I feel like Chris is deliberately waiting. Slip knit, slip knit, slip knit, slip the knit, slip the knit, and knit, 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 knit. Yes. Deconstructed and translated through space. It's the only way we know how to do it right now. So, technically the speed of light? Or would that be faster? But the issue, as I said, comes in keeping the deconstructed subject on a straight course to its destination, and also to actually make them stop there. When the process occurs, we are deforming space-time. We are creating a shortcut through space, and that has risks. Why exactly? Because there are many more dimensions in space than the 3 we exist on. There's some evidence that there are as many as 10. So when you send the rat to New Mexico, it's traveling through another dimension to get there, I ask. Basically, and because of that, we're trying to get a better understanding of what those other dimensions are capable of. Things that a great deal of the population would be scared of if they knew what we were doing, hence all the privacy. Then today the power went out as we were right in the middle of an experiment. Something happened. What? I don't know. She's speaking with the authority of someone who knows what she's talking about. Is that why those creatures are here, or what have you seen in these dimensions? That would be stating that they've actually done it with people. I actually would have wanted a different one, but you're not surprised, are you? Is that why those creatures are here? What, because they sent something through, and what, it bumped into one of the creatures along the way, and the creature also went with them? I mean, if the body was deconstructed into pure atoms, it was sent flying off into one direction. But technically going from one dimension to another. Why would it be going in a different dimension? It's atoms. What have you seen in these? What have you seen? What things do you see? I choose neither. I choose both, and I choose neither. Other worlds, other Tegmark universes, where our laws of nature don't apply. She says, not bothering to explain what that means. I'm not clear for such things, but I do get the reports. What reports? Marcus asks. I've given access to the results of the tests. In other words, you guys have been peeking into other dimensions and taking notes on what you see. I can't believe I wasted my life for this, he murmurs to himself. He looks like he's starting to freak out. Amy is quiet. Her expression indicates that she's waiting to see how I react to all of this. You people are insane, or that's incredible. It is incredible. I take a look. It's because YouTube always requires me to click out and insert the chat. This system is so broken. Okay, I figured. What? Anyway, you people are insane, or that's incredible. They are insane because of what they're literally doing. But at the same time, it's incredible because transportation and all that. You know, if they could take a person and then send it to a different planet, because it's technically broken down into atoms, the body wouldn't age, or would it age? Because it's been broken down to pure atoms. I don't think it would actually age, would it? Because atoms don't really age. So it'd be like it doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get there, you'll get there eventually. And you would be oblivious to it. So it'd be like going to sleep and then waking up in a different galaxy or something. That one. So this is like interdimensional stuff. In a way, I'd say more. Marcus, on the other hand, is incredulous. I don't want anything to do with this. All this time I've been working for. He laughs cruelly, and the sound of it makes my blood go cold for a moment. Just a single level beneath my feet, you a-holes have been tearing apart space and time. While time doesn't really exist, and space is everywhere, and it's always been torn apart, technically. When the elevator doors open, I can't get up fast enough. The tension is growing way too thick for my liking. Outside of the elevator, we step out into what appears to be a massive industrial area. The carnage waiting for us is unlike anything I'd seen in the upper levels. Continue. Wow. Ooh, there's something up there. The area looks industrial, like everything was built for utility only. But more noticeably than that is all of the blood. My god, I've never seen so much blood. Those creatures must have had a field day. Holy balls, Marcus says, looking like a man that just awoke from a very bad dream. There were more personnel in this area when the experiment went haywire, Amy says, as if the explanation makes it all better. The research you all do down here had better be worth it. We have to get moving, or we're going to lose our nerve. Amy, let's focus. Barksdale is in the hangar. If he's still alive, yes, that's where he'll be. And let's hurry, I say. As far as I can tell, Dennis is doing much better, but I'm beginning to grow tired of trying to keep my fear at bay. Between the blood on the floor, the silence on level 3, and Amy's talking to the lab rats. I'm kinda freaked out now. Amy, you take the lead, or I'll go first. Stay behind me. I don't think we should go first. Even though we have the gun. But it's because we got the gun that if we go first, Marcus or even Amy could attack us. So I still don't feel like either of them trust me. I think we should have Amy take the lead. Because if these things are as dangerous as Amy says, then I don't think a gun will be effective. Hello, Theo. Hello. Yes, I do think the same thing. The four of us start walking ahead, Amy taking the lead. We stop walking when we come to the remains of what looks to be 3 different people. It is hard to tell how many bodies there were because they had been torn to shreds and are distorted. 2 of the bodies look as if they had been fused together. Another man looks to have had his leg welded through the floor. I can see this man's face. He died in an abject state of horror, his mouth pried open in an eternal scream. This is not the right time to be a gentleman. Tell Amy to go first. Me, personally, I'm doing good. Just keep swimming. So we're going for keep moving. It's simply too much. Worse than that is the fact that we have just starting our journey through level 3. If there is worse waiting up ahead, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. Dennis steps up beside me, and when he speaks, his voice is soft and flat. What in the hell could do that to someone? He asks. The things I saw, Amy answers. They could do it pretty easily, I think. She looks pale, and I think that she may pass out at any moment. Tears spill from her eyes, and she is visibly shaking. But she soldiers on, looking back to me and stepping to the side of the gruesome carnage. Her eyes again go to my rifle, and she doesn't look very hopeful. You good to go? She asks me. We need to move on, but for some reason I can't take my eyes off the scene. My mind is reeling, trying to process it all. Yeah, let's go. Or look around some more. Why would you want to look around some more? No. We leave the grisly sight behind, moving into another equally destroyed area. From what I can tell, the next room was once an open area for our experimentation. The place hasn't just been destroyed, it has been physically altered in a way that makes no sense. The girders look to have been warped, the very materials distorted and twisted. To my right, a machine has been catapulted and looks to have somehow merged with the wall rather than crashing into it. Beyond these phenomena, there is the standard violence I was expected to see. There's a limp arm sticking out from underneath the wreckage, and more blood. I see no signs of an explosion, which makes me wonder just how this happened. Seeing the aftermath is sickening enough, but it makes me wonder if Amy saw it while it was happening. Did you see what happened to these girders, or did you see how these people died? What do you guys think? Chris? Annika? For you? What do you think? We have a third participant now. What question should we ask? What did you see what happened to those girders, or did you see how these people died? We got first from Chris. Question mark. Also, I hope I'm not spiking. First one. The second one? Okay, it's up to Annika. Annika? My audio is perfect. Well, even. It's even. Aww. That's okay. So what do you reckon, Annika? First one or the second one? Doodly-doo. 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 The second one. Ooh, okay. Sorry. I only caught a glimpse of it, she says, taking a deep breath. It was closest to the exit, so I just started running. But it was like trying to focus your eye on something that was too close. People's bodies just started twisting and turning. And the thing that did this, it looked like... She doesn't finish. She's caught up by some sound echoing through the facility. It comes from behind us and slightly to the right. I'm not sure what it is, but it makes my blood feel like ice. It sounds almost like static from an AM radio, but there's a high-pitched noise beneath it that I can't even start to fathom. What in the hell is that? I ask, instantly clapping my hands to my ears. One of them, Amy says, our voice a whisper. One of the creatures. That's what they sound like? Dennis asks. I see that he's leaning, I apologize, against the wall again, wincing at the noise. I suddenly realize that I have a deft grip on the rifle, ready to shoot at the next thing I see. How far away you think they are, or anything between us and them? Because I don't know what girders are. Okay. I say... Anything between us and them. That's the one I think. I think this one. How far away? What does that question even mean? Anything between us and them? Like, is there a room, a panic room? Are there security doors that we could lock? Stuff like that. How far away? I'll go for that one. I've done it. It's clicked. About 100 meters. Not far. Everyone seems to take this as the cue to start moving again. No kidding. We'll make our way around the office wreckage now with new purpose in our step. Getting away from the spooky thing. We barely make it to the other side of the room, approaching a dark hallway when another high-pitched noise sounds out. This one is louder. Closer. We all share a terrified look, and I can tell that Amy is on the verge of losing it. I grip the rifle tightly as we head towards the hallway in front of us. How much further to the hangar? Or, can you kill these things? I've almost not recognized TK this evening. It's the glass, I think. Glasses, oh. I was like, the glass? I do have a glass, funny enough. Like, well, considering there's a lot of reading in this game, I definitely need to put these glasses on. Gotta focus, gotta focus. Whenever I'm playing the old school games, I don't really focus that much. That's probably why I keep running into things and doing silly things all the time. Otherwise, it really hurts the eyes. Constantly looking at a screen for 3 hours, and it does. Oh. So, how much further to the hangar, or can you kill these things? Well, I don't think they're, well, they're definitely not friendly. They have a rifle. Can you kill these things? She probably doesn't know. You make a very good point. So, probably this one. What do you think, Few? How much further to the hangar? Yeah. How much further to the hangar? Close. So descriptive. It's just at the end of this hallway. Oh, okay. Dennis speaks up, his voice like ice. Why don't we just haul ass then, huh? No one says anything after that. But I can feel the pressure of terror around us, pressing in on us like some new violent gravity. Ooh. Oh, how lovely looking. The small utility hallway is well lit. It looks as if it was designed to only be used by select maintenance workers. I whistled there, I'm sorry. What goes on in this area, I ask. I'm looking at Marcus as I ask the question, but he only shrugs in response. She might know, he replies, pointing to Amy. I've never been down here before. It's just a utility hallway, Amy says. But at the end there is a maintenance room. There should be a gun or two in there. It's also the most direct path to the hangar entrance. As we walk quickly and quietly down the hall, I take a glimpse ahead and feel the hair on the back of my neck stand on end. The lights become more sparsely spaced, and it's impossible to see just how far the hall extends into the darkness. This hallway has the occasional trace of bloodshed, and nothing like the main area we've come from. We continue farther down, and just as I begin to see what looks like a large metal door further ahead, I hear yet another shrill of sound. This one sounds farther away, but no less demonic. How many of these things did you see? Dennis asks Amy. 3. But that's just what I saw. There could be more. What did they look like? Dennis asks. Can we talk about something else? Or yeah, what are we dealing with? Ooh. What do you guys think then? Well, no, what am I saying? You guys have already voted. What are we dealing with? I don't even know how to explain them, she says. Monsters. That's the only word I can think of. My mind seemed to struggle just trying to understand what I was seeing and yawning about. They're big. And they seem to jerk around every few feet or so. They look like they're made of light. That's about all I know for sure. You know, my ex-husband always said I let my work kill me. She continues, seemingly unable to stop herself. I mean, I doubt he'd imagine this exact scenario, but still. As we make our way to the hangar doors, another high-pitched noise rings out, angrier now. Amy stops walking, causing all of us to stop and turn to her. We have to do something to slow these things down, she says. No, Marcus stamps. There's no time. We need to distance ourselves and get to the hangar. Fast. Amy ignores him, deep in thought. There's an old hydraulic door set into the wall right here. It hasn't been used for years, though. She looks to me, pleading her case. Together, we might be able to pull it closed behind us to keep those things back. These old hydraulic doors weigh a ton. There's no way it'll work. Roger. Amy says, what do you think? They'll have a harder time getting to us if these doors are locked. Look, Marcus shouts, turn to me. We need to get to the hangar now. So let's stop and close the doors first, or let's keep moving to the hangar. What do you guys think? Because although we could close the door, if they weigh a ton, closing a door is going to take a long time. And if it's very close, putting ourselves at risk, so we may end up having just to ditch the door and run, so we've lost time. And then we might be able to close the door quickly. But wouldn't closing the door make a lot of noise? And it would know that we're here more? I don't think it technically knows we're here. I think it's just wandering around because we'll be quiet. It doesn't know we're here. Trying to close a huge hydraulic door would definitely make noise. So, a few things we should just keep going. What do you two think? You think we should close the door or keep moving? Oh, we're gonna. I don't know from Annika. Okay. What about you, Slip? What do you think? You choose the first one, but it's not funny. But it's not funny? Keep moving. I would say keep moving. But it's not. What do you mean by but it's not funny? Oh. No, I said the group. With all the carnage back there, I doubt we could stop them. That's what I'm saying. It's hot ass. Amy tries to speak up. But the rest of us are already running down the hallway. I speed towards the hangar doors, not even looking back to see how far Amy is falling behind us. Panic and hope are fighting within me. I can't stop myself from sprinting. The fact that yet another shrill noise sounds out elsewhere in the facility is not calming. Where am I? And there are two of them. It's almost like they're calling out to one another. Like, dude, I'm here. Me too, dude. Where do you go? I don't know. I don't know where I am. And apparently I speak like this. And then they'll come up to him and be like, dude, on the way. No, I shouldn't have said. The doors of the hangar sit up ahead like the edges of some enormous labyrinth. Ah, the aliens just walk up to it like, do you know the way? Because we don't. Oh. Very big splash. When we reach the hangar doors, I get a true sense of how impenetrable they are. The computer terminal is mounted on the wall nearby. It has a blinking red light. Any idea what this means? I ask. It's an automatic lock. I feel safe from the lockdown, Amy says. I've never been down here before, Marcus says. If I had known this door was here, I would have opened it earlier. How? Amy asks. The fear in her voice is more present than ever. From the command center, he says, you need to override from there first, then use this terminal to open the hangar doors. Okay, anyway, from the command center, blah blah blah, the command center on the first floor, yes. Amy shakes her head and lets out a nervous laugh. Do you hear those things? There's no way in hell I'm going back towards them through that small hallway. If we want to get into the hangar, we have to get back to the command center, Marcus says. Isn't there another way? Turning to Marcus, Amy replies, well, there is another elevator, but we'll need to go through biochem storage. I need to stay with Dennis so he can rest. You two go. You know your way around this place. I need the controls, Marcus. Fine, but we'll need to be armed. Give Amy the gun, or give Marcus a gun. How about neither? But we'll need to be armed. Don't we need to be armed too? The game is good. I bet they go. Wanna smash? Oh, cow. Oh. Is that why everybody's died? These creatures go up to go, got stick? I ain't got stick. Smack. Got stick? You ain't got stick? Smack. Do you know the way? The creature. It's Danny. Oh, that's even better then. Every time he walked up to the scientist, he just went, did you save? No. Smack. You got no stick, you die. You got no stick. No stick. No stick, no stick, no stick. Who seems to be more responsible, Marcus or Amy? In terms of level-headedness, Marcus does seem to be more level-headed. But he's a bit crazy. Amy seems more sensible in a sense. I don't know who to give it to. Never give a weapon to a girl. Too dangerous. Oh God. Two for Marcus. And Slips in the background going, whatever. As long as you got stick. So we're gonna give Marcus the gun. Here you go, Marcus. I hand Marcus the rifle and he turns to go. Amy gives me a concerned look, but follows along behind him. Once Amy and Marcus make it a good distance down the hallway, Dennis lets out a nervous laugh. And then there were two, he says. Dennis looks much better, but he still needs to use the wall to stay standing. Didn't Amy say that there were guns and emergency kits in the maintenance room near the hangar doors? Yeah, I think so, Danny says, looking exhausted. I look ahead and see a door to the right that reads maintenance. Might as well give it a try. I go to the door, try to open it, but find that it's locked. Kick it down, or push it with your shoulder. Well, hang on a second. Our ankle's kind of messed up, so we'll try pushing it with our shoulder. I give a hard shove, but it doesn't budge. I'm about to try again, but that's when I hear the dry, choking sound from just down the hallway. It's barely audible, but it's not my imagination. My first thought that it's one of those things, one of the monsters. But after calming my nerves and reassessing, it sounds more like a person. I think about how angry on edge Amy was when she turned to leave, as well as how scared Marcus had looked. Alarm bells sounded in my head, and before I know it, I'm heading back down the hall away from the hangar doors. Stay here. I'll be right back, I whisper over my shoulder to Dennis. See if you can figure out how to get into that maintenance room. Where are you going? He asks. I don't bother answering him as I bound through the door where Amy and Marcus went. What the frig? Oh. It's my neighbors upstairs. This is a long chapter. as I enter the biochem room and start walking between the massive silos. I wonder what classified chemicals could be inside of them. That floor, though. The door. I am fully expecting one of Amy's creatures to come flying out from the intersection of halls up ahead. I think I hear something. A skittering noise, like something moving quickly. I run ahead so fast that I almost trip over two people in a life or death struggle. Okay. My mind tries to process what I am seeing, but it makes no sense. Not at all. Marcus is on the floor with Amy pinned beneath him. He has his rifle at her throat, pushing her down the floor and choking her with it. Her face is turning purple, and her eyes look like they might pop out of her head. Marcus sees me coming out of the hallway, but acts as if what he is doing is perfectly normal. What do you guys think? Should we say, "What the hell are you doing?" or just plain stop him? We don't know the situation here. I mean, what if Amy was the one that was trying to knock Marcus out? Stop him, duh, ask. I mean, I would hope that the option to ask would come after stopping him. Then what if Amy then ends up grabbing the gun and turns it on us? Ooh, this is a tricky one. So we've got 2 for stop him. Okay. We'll try stopping him. She is weak at this point. I start rushing towards him before I really know what I'm doing. I bring my fist down in a hard arc across the bridge of his nose, and I'm rewarded with a sick cracking sound. I broke my hand. Oh, I didn't read that right. On the floor, he cries out as he falls to the ground, looking at me as if he doesn't understand why I punched him. On the floor, Amy clutches at her neck and gasps for breath. I start to fear that I was a moment too late, just as I see that the rifle has been thrown across the floor. Marcus seems to notice this at the exact same moment when I do. Go for the rifle or hit Marcus. Well, what? When I hit Marcus before, it worked. And we've already hit him once. So should we hit him again? Because the last time we did it, it did work. Doesn't necessarily mean it worked now. It worked before because he was already being tackled by Dennis. So Slip is confused. Theo doesn't know. And Annika, rifle? Question mark? You guys are crazy. The third option. You guys are crazy. I'm out of here. I've got stick. No, we'll go for the rifle. We both go for the rifle at once. He takes a single stumbling step towards it, wobbling a bit from my punch. I dive for it, and when I hit the floor, it feels like I'm a baseball player trying to steal third. Our hands both fall on it, but when I yank it away, he manages to kick me, knocking the rifle to the floor again. The kick catches me squarely in my ribs, knocking the breath out of me. What the hell are you doing? He yells at me. By killing her, I'm saving us. All of this was her fault. I sense that he truly believes this, but if that's the case, then why not just shoot her rather than strangle her with a rifle? The answer is simple. We would have heard the gunshot, and I, or those things, would have come running. You wanted to kill her quietly. And then what? Would you have done the same to Dennis and me? It seems fitting, really. When we first came upon Marcus, he held a gun on us. I'd been so relieved to see another human being that I had underestimated just how unhinged he was. Marcus and I both dive for the rifle, still laying on the floor, and start wrestling for possession. But I'm not confident I'll come away with it. As we struggle, he starts inching the muzzle of the gun towards my face. a position I do not want to be in. I start pushing back hard. But if this thing accidentally fires, I'm not sure where I'd prefer the bullet to go, especially in this room full of chemical tanks. Force muzzle towards Marcus, or force muzzle towards tanks. Ione. Just what a crazy game is perfect for you. Ooh, well, you guys chose the last one, so I'm gonna have to choose this one. We don't know what's actually in the tanks. Is it flammable? Chances are it's flammable. Is radioactive stuff flammable? I actually don't know that. I would have asked and hit him. Yeah. Force muscle towards Marcus, but we could end up killing him. Or force muscle towards the tanks, which sounds suicidal, to be honest, if it goes off. This one might make him stop. I grunt as I push the muzzle point towards his face. Realizing he is literally looking down the barrel of the gun, Marcus tucks his head out of the way. This makes him lose leverage, allowing me to yank the gun from his grip. Aha. I get to my feet as quickly as I can, swinging the rifle back around on him. For a moment, I think I've knocked him out. But his eyes flutter, and he looks at me as if I betrayed him. Her people, he says. It was them that did this. She deserves to die. She did this. You're very competent. I look to Amy and wish I could help her. I'm relieved to see that she is managing to draw in a few breaths. Her legs move as she tries to push herself into a sitting position. You wouldn't know, Marcus says. You didn't work here under their secrecy. You don't know what it was like to. He surprises me by lunging towards me, leaping from the floor like a human projectile. I don't have time to aim carefully. I have to react fast. Shoot him or try to dodge. What do you guys think? It's your turn, not mine. It's the chat's turn. Do you shoot him or do you try to dodge him? He crazy. They're all crazy. But at least we got stick. At least we got stick. Oh, like wherever these things look like, I'd love it if someone made an animation like that, just going about the place, going got stick, got stick. Try to dodge. We've got that one. We've got one for our dodge. This is a mess. Can we get this under control, please? Second one. 2 dodges. Dodgy dodders, guys. Sure. His aim is poor and his strength is failing, so I dodge him easily. I don't want to have a gunshot go off and alert those creatures to where we are. Make a hard job of the butt of the rifle, strike him in his chest. Something crunches, and he lets out a whoosh of air. He crumbles for a moment and then goes to his knees. He roars in pain on the floor. Only, after a few moments, I realize that they are not purely screams of pain. He's actually calling for them, calling for those creatures to come for us. This place is evil, along with everyone involved. If you are taking her side, then you deserve to die too. If you want to stop me, you'd better do it now, you coward. The rage in his eyes at Amy, as well as towards me for stopping him, makes me think that he'll deliver on his threat. I raise the rifle again, every urge in my body wanting to make sure he doesn't come back to bite us. But I am not a violent man. I could easily not kill him and just leave him behind. Kill him or don't kill him. He has no reason to jump at us if he has valid intentions. Why did he not do anything this whole time? If it was about killing her, he could have hit her any time. It smells like a fish market. Okay, I'm done with this guy. I only wanted the best, but I lost all hope. Kill him. Shoot the frig out of him. Just a hit against the neck. It's the only way to finish that. Kill him. Because if you leave him, you could end up just continuing to scream and shout for those things. And like he says, he might come back to bite us. So Annika is like, nope, get rid of him. Just a hit against the neck. Ooh, I think shooting could alarm it though, so that's my only reason to doubt it, but I would have shot before. And all this started with some nice logging. Yep, this all started with some nice good old logging. That it did. So we should go for this one. Ooh. Get some logs, they said. It's a calm job, they said. Pick up some sticks, they said. It might save you, they said. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Oh, I did it. I aim for his head and start to squeeze the trigger, but I can't complete the motion while I'm looking at him. I close my eyes tight and squeeze the trigger. The muzzle bursts and I hear Marcus crumble onto the floor. It's not for another 10 seconds or so that I realize I've been standing still, frozen, with my eyes closed and my teeth clenched. I try to avoid looking at Marcus' body and instead lean down to Amy. You okay? She nods slowly. Have to go, she says, her voice raspy. They'll be here any minute. Too much noise. I have to hold her arm so she can get to her feet. We start forward, and then I think of Dennis. We should go back to the hangar doors. I say, I can't just leave Dennis there. There's no time. You need to come with me up to the command center now. We'll be back for him soon. I stare at Marcus's dead body for a moment, trying to comprehend the fact that my own hands caused him to die. It is a turning point in my life that I will never recover from. There's no time to wait it now. As I look at him, another high-pitched static sound rings out from elsewhere. It's louder, more fierce. Amy takes off, presumably towards the other elevator she had mentioned moments ago. As we move out, I look back once more at Marcus' body, motionless. We start running, and after the first few strides, another noise sounds out. It sounds mechanical, but at the same time, it also reminds me of recordings I've heard of whale songs. I dare look behind us and see something has entered the doorway I came through. It is large and bright, but it's too far away to see clearly. I have no interest in seeing it. Wherever pulling the hydraulic door would have helped, I'm not sure, but seeing how close they are, I regret not doing it. I speed up my step to follow Amy as she leads the way to the other elevator. She's panting furiously, but pushes on. I can hear something rattling in her breath, likely the result of Marcus' attack. This makes me imagine how his cold, uncaring eyes must have looked, staring down at her as he tried to deliver her to death. How is she still forging on is beyond me. I'm sorry about Marcus, I say. It's not your fault. She interrupts. When you handed him the gun, you didn't know he would use it on me. I just hope we can find a way to survive this mess. We'll be fine, don't worry. Or, don't say anything at all. Where am I? Anyway, we have a big chance to finish to a big dinner for the creature. So they just left Dennis behind. It wasn't even a choice. No, they said that they are going to go back for Dennis. It's just that the doors they need to unlock can only be unlocked from the command room. And we're going to this other elevator to get to that room. So technically, I don't know how we're supposed to go back. Or maybe he'll get up and go through himself. That's also possible. You know, the dude isn't totally helpless. We'll be fine, don't worry. Or don't say anything. I think more towards reassurance. I'll go for reassurance. I'm not so sure, she says, her eyes fixed straight down. Ahead? Town. I'm not sure I can blame her. I just want to say something encouraging, I guess. We finally come to the elevator at the end of our row of silos. Now I'm more concerned with the monstrosity that is on our heels. Amy furiously slaps the bottom to open the doors. At the bottom! At the button to open the doors, not the butt. They slide open slowly. It feels like it's taking forever. We squeeze in before the doors open all the way. Amy actually falling to her knees and screaming? I ready the rifle and watch helplessly as the door finally reached their full opening capacity. As they hold open, I see a large shape floating towards us. Ah, whoa! A phosphorescent, like white glow outlines an impossible shape. Behind it, I see another shape that's also entered the biochem room. And another. The third one breaks away from the other two, taking a quick right. It moves with eerie speed. They are heading in the direction of Marcus's body. Honestly, the thought of them feasting on his corpse doesn't bother me in the slightest. Amy is pressing the button Amy is pressing the button to close the elevator doors over and over, but they stay open for what seems like an eternity. I curse whoever designed these damn doors. Should we hide inside the elevator or stand in the doorway ready to shoot? Hey, whatever. We've made a lot of everything is fine choices is fine. I don't think guns help. So should we hide inside the elevator or stand in the doorway ready to shoot? What are you guys thinking? What can I buy? Yeah, hide. Most horror games, hide seems to be generally, I suppose standing in the doorway and be like, hello, I'm here, isn't the best way of dealing with this situation. I think I'm happy it's just a game. Should we hide? Hide. Technically, we've only used the gun twice. Shot at the floor, and then we used it on Marcus. Amy and I slide ourselves up against the sides of the elevator, trying to avoid being seen. Yeah, stop yawning. But I can't help peeking around the corner. I hold the rifle steady, ready to fire, and that's when I see them in a clear light for the first time. I can see their features, their shape, and their colors, but my mind can't quite process it all. Nothing about them makes any sense. My eyes try to see a squid, but that's not what these things are. They are grey and white, and seem to be nothing more than squirming light. Their appendages are neither legs nor tentacles, but somewhere in between. They don't walk on these appendages, but use them to glide. They move like ghosts, and seem to jerk every few feet or so. But I'm pretty sure that this jerking effect is not a result of their moving, but my mind's inability to understand how they are moving exactly. What, they're moving quicker than our brains can process? It's also more than their appearance that makes a mockery of reality. Kind of like if I go like this very quickly, you know it's a hand, but at the same time it's blurry. Like you can't quite make it out, it's moving far too quickly. That peculiar effect in the air makes their movement seem like something moving underwater, only faster. They screech in unison as they rush towards the elevator. They'll be inside here in another few seconds. I check the rifle and see that my ammo is diminishing. I have to start saving my shots. I'm going to have to be choosy. Shoot at the creatures, or don't shoot and save ammo. They'll be inside here in another few seconds. I feel like we should definitely be saving. Because shooting them would just make them speed up. I did it. Oh, okay. They keep advancing, even though I know the doors may not close in time. I manage to keep my cool and avoid firing off any more rounds. My finger itches to pull the trigger, but I resist. I'm not even sure if a gun would affect them. Finally, the elevator door closes. The creatures wash against the other side of the door, making electrical noise and crying out in anger. The tips of their spider-like appendages poke through the wall and elevator door. But for some reason, they can't get all the way through. Amy screams at this, or curls into a ball in the far corner of the elevator, crying. I say nothing to her. I just cling to the rifle, hoping those creatures don't find Dennis as he waits by the hangar doors where I left him. For his sake and ours, we need to get them open. Now. End of chapter 3. Don't shoot the jelly now! Definitely don't want to shoot the jelly now. No. Whew. So, I think I will leave this off here. Whoop. Yes, I think I will leave this stream off here. I think the end of chapter 3 is a good stopping point. Jelly. Yeah, you had to say that was such a happy, smiley face. Jelly. I suppose I could continue this tomorrow. If you'd be happy if I continue this tomorrow. We could do this tomorrow. Are you busy tomorrow? I do. One of the very first games I streamed. Oh, the intro to that one. What a journey. And good decision. I'm busy tomorrow. Whoops. Oh dear. I could do it Sunday. Because I think there's going to be a stream anyway with me, Slip, and somebody else. I'll be busy working, so I cannot contribute. Oh wait, you're working on the weekend? I did not know this. Unless I've skipping through time. This is Thursday, but that's something. And me too. Everyone's busy tomorrow, so I'll just do it on Sunday then. I will aim for a early start time. Yeah, I work apart from work. And we have the stream in the evening, so I need to get stuff done. Aha. So I'll do it on Sunday then. I will do it on Sunday. I will probably do the stream on Sunday at around, say, Chris will be at a gig. So we'll go to stream anyway then for tomorrow. Later on in the day. It'll be on Chris's side, I believe. And I will do this stream Sunday, 2 p.m. And then later on at night, I will probably do Resident Evil Nemesis. Horror themed game, that one. Lovely. Anyway, thank you all for joining in the stream. For those who are on YouTube and on Twitch, thank you for joining in. I noticed a few people actually did join on Twitch. That was interesting. Anyway, you can see me on Saturday on Chris's Slipcore's. I apologize there, Slipcore. I keep going back and forth. But I will be on his live stream tomorrow at around 6. And I will personally be back on it around 2 p.m. on Sunday. See you then. Bye. I'm sliding like a professional. Professional slider. Bye-bye. Whoa, hang on, where's my camera going? Diddly-did.